Hi, everybody. Welcome to Vale.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Dr. Nick. The neck bone's connected to my wristwatch. Remember that when he sings down the whole thing? Neck bone's connected to the hip bone. The hip bone's connected to the thigh bone. The thigh bone's connected to my wristwatch. Uh-oh. And like, I don't know, some Simpsons jokes are just burned into my memory like that. I hear certain things and it just sets off. Hi, everybody.
Classic show.
Welcome to Table Stories Just Vale, which is our weekly D&D show. Not OLD and confusing. Anybody who was here for Monday's opening episode of the Nameless Ones, where we started out going, this is really cool, and at the end of it we're all going, I don't understand the system and I'm scared. So that starts next week. Hey, there you go. Next Monday, episode 1. Terrifying. I'm playing an imp creature type.
Ooh.
Weird. I'm an impkin. It's kind of like a tiefling, but like more specifically impish.
Huh.
The blood comes from an imp type creature.
Is your name Cran?
Everyone in chat was like, you have to make Cran. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. Like, I will do a thing. They were like, your name has to be Cran. And I was like, no. I wrote CRACKULE. So his name's Cracule. But, like,
Can he fly?
He can fly a little bit, yeah.
What?
Does he have the same voice?
No, I was gonna do it, but the character that I've made, it wouldn't make any sense for him to be like Fran, basically.
Yeah.
Like at first it was a great idea, but as I made the character more, he's just veered away from it a little bit. But yeah, Cran was the original thing everyone in chat was going crazy about, so that's why I ended up making it. Because I said in chat, I was like, shall I make an imp-kin creature or another thing? And they were like, imp, make Cran. He's like, yeah, Cran's illegitimate son from like another alternate reality. Yeah, I don't know. Welcome to the show, people. Before we jump into everything, let's say hi. Let's chill. Let's relax. Let's just catch up, guys.
Up, dude?
How's your week been, Jay?
When are you playing Fortnite with me?
I'd rather fucking cut my own eyes out, eat them, shit out my own eyes, and then eat them again, and then tie up my own asshole and never shit, and just back up all of the eyeballs shit into my body and die internally and play Fortnite with you. Play with anyone else though, if anyone else is up for it.
Do you seriously hate it though? You don't like it?
No, I just can't really be bothered with it. I got PUBG. I don't know why I would play Fortnite. It's clearly a child's game. And I don't like kids' games and don't do any games that much when I've got one that's the one that I am okay with and enjoy playing. It's hard. Like everyone's playing it and everyone's like, come play Fortnite. And I'm like, I want to, but I just nah.
Yeah, I was the same way. But then I played it and I was like, oh, it's actually a lot harder than PUBG. That's why people don't like it.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
I'm gonna like rope you into one game with me. One.
I mean, my thing, and I've been saying it for a long time, is I'm just waiting for something's gonna come out at some point soon that's gonna just trump them both.
Yeah.
You know, someone's gonna release something like fucking Battlefield 1 Battle Royale, and I'll be like, okay, I'll play that because that's obviously gonna be way better. So I'm just waiting for that to happen at this point.
Well, they had the Darwin Project come out, right? Early access or something at least.
Darwin Project is like one of those games where I love the concept and it's really entertaining, except that the one thing that sets it apart from all the others is also the one that makes it unplayable, with that freaking director like choosing to show favorites all the time.
Oh, I haven't actually played it.
Oh, yeah. Are you familiar with how the director thing works?
From what you said, I could assume probably pretty accurately what it does.
Well, so like imagine a BR game, but with one player is essentially the cameraman.
Oh wow!
And he gets to fly around the map and drop power-ups, and he can also like voice chat directly with all the players.
Ooh.
So he can like come up to people and be like, "Yo, there's a guy hiding in the tree behind you."
Yeah.
And that's considered normal. Like every stream I've seen of the game is like some director going, "Yo, there's a guy 300 feet to your left. Go after him. Go." So like if you're ever trying to like sneak up on someone, you'll never be able to do it because this cameraman dude is going to be following you around making noise, and he can also like heal you and make you invulnerable on a cooldown. Like he can give you like 15 seconds of invulnerability. So when I was playing it, like I would come up on people and suddenly the other guy would have an invulnerability bubble given to him by this eye in the sky. I was like, okay, this is not fun. This is just dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Not only
conversely,
was it
it does go the other way a lot too, because I was watching Summit and Tim the Tatman play it, and they were, big enough that the directors automatically recognized their names. So then just butt hug them for the entire game, follow them around, giving them, like heads up to everyone else's location and making them invulnerable all the time. I was like, this would be a cool mechanic, but it also like simultaneously the cool feature also ruins the game. So I don't know. I didn't like Darwin Project very much.
Something's going to come out, I think, and it's just going to be better than everything. And I think some AAA developers going to make it, and they will have just worked on it for a year, because everyone's releasing all this shit like early access and like Fortnite's
You
just
mean,
like, we just quickly made one.
You mean Hunt Showdown? Is that the one?
Hunt is
That
good.
one's pretty
I'm really
cool.
enjoying that. I like that one a lot. Yeah, that's different enough from PUBG as well that it's, it doesn't feel like I'm just playing another fucking clone or whatever.
That's fair. I haven't played it yet, but Jesse and Anthony and everybody are really seeming to enjoy it.
I have to try hard. It's so bad though. Like it goes from like I've been playing like half a stream of PUBG and half a stream of Hunt, and I'll go from like PUBG where I'm like Mah! Just being fucking twat the whole time, and then like goes to Hunt and I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm just like trying to sweating like crazy, and like it just becomes like really intense stream all of a sudden. It's really weird.
It's amazing what permadeath on your leveled characters can do to motivate you to play safe,
Yeah.
Permadeath. Ooh.
I've had a couple of fucking great games of that, and a couple that have made me like the pain.
Yeah, Hunt Showdown's really good. Attention, if you haven't played it yet, you should try it. And also, it's a BR, but it's very small scale because it's only 10 players. And then it's also like Escape from Tarkov in the sense that your goal isn't exclusively killing other players. Like you don't win by killing all the other players. You win by killing the boss.
Right.
But then each playable character, every time you go in there, they have their own separate name and identity. So if you win, you can play as that same person again, and they level up and they get perks and stuff like that. And you can eventually have a roster of like multiple guys that are all leveled up. But if you ever lose, all deaths are permanent. So it's interesting because it motivates you to keep your guys alive. So it's where some people might just go heck with it and charge in. You'll be more like, no, we got to get to the safe zone and get out. I'm on my last health point on my level 50 guy. I don't want to lose him.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
It's good. I've been recommending it. I think it's a good one. It's a good one if you're into that kind of a thing. You want a little bit of a battle royale feel with some other shit to do kind of thing, because there's other things that you do on the map. It's fun. I still haven't really gotten good yet. What have you been playing, Connor?
I'm not battle royale.
I know. That's
Apart from Fortnite in my spare time.
All right. Who's next? Tuesday. What have you been playing?
Vermintide 2.
Yay!
Fun.
Me too.
Yeah, it's really awesome. I probably only have maybe 20 or so hours in it, but it's going to be hundreds by the time I'm done with that game. It's super duper fun. I don't know how they made repeating the same map over again infinitely doable, without being bored, but they did, and I'm digging it.
It's the visceral feedback. It's the fact that when you hit an enemy, like there's enough screen shake and enough blood spatter
It's so sad.
and enough impact from your weapon and the enemy flying away that you really feel like you just hit a dude in the face.
Yeah.
And that feeling is just so satisfying, regardless of any other game mechanics, that you just want to chop through hordes of enemies because it's so satisfying.
It is that satisfying, and I honestly feel when I'm done playing and like as I'm playing that I'm just like doing myself a favor. Like, you ever go through a hack and slash game where you're just like, I feel better. Like, if you were angry about anything or just like, feeling the need to beat things up, it really does satisfy that.
It's like it follows the same Destiny pattern of just like replay the same missions over and over and over for better loot. But the difference is in this one, the kills are actually satisfying, and I don't feel like I'm forcing myself through a mindless loop just to try and get better loot. It's like, no, actually, I want to go kill those 100 enemies over there because I know each and every one of them's gonna have a nice crunch to it,
Sometimes their head comes off.
When you get to a high enough level, or you get like the appropriate weapon, and you can start literally hacking them in half at the waist.
Yeah.
And you just see them separate, and
Yeah.
you're just like, yes, and
The
then you're just
legs.
running in there with your two-handed weapon. It's amazing.
Yeah.
The video game stress ball.
It kind of is.
That should be the selling point.
It kind of is. It's that and the dangling carrot of new loot all the time is very effective for me. I keep wanting to see what my next blue or green is going to be like. Oh, what stats it going to have? And
Have you gotten high enough in the game to play champion or legendary runs yet?
no. Mm-mm.
They're really intense. Like
Just
the basic
better.
rats kill you in like 3 hits. So it's like
Oh
you have
my
to play ultra careful and never get hit. It's
But I
really
can't
intense.
even
Like hundreds of enemies, and if they
And don't
poke you
hit,
once, it's like 30% of your health. So you're just like having to sit there and like perfectly parry everything and defend everything and dodge everything or die. And it's really cool.
Wow.
It's
One day.
actually got me interested in the Warhammer universe, which is something I never really cared about
Me too.
before. So I'm
Yeah.
going to play through Total War Warhammer now, just to
Just to get the lore.
get a glimpse at the world, you know.
Yeah, I've gotten very interested in the lore as well because I really feel like it'll enrich the experience. So I think I'm just going to read some of the books too.
Oh, the books are
A
really
bunch
good.
of losers. You guys are geeks.
nerd.
I mean, that's why I'm reading all of the Witcher books just so that I can play the Witcher and not
Oh,
fucking.
hell yeah.
Is it true they're making a Witcher on Netflix?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I hope they really do cast Mark Hamill as Vesemir.
Oh,
They
he
better
would, no,
not.
he would actually be a good Vesemir.
Better
Yeah,
not.
did you see that on Twitter?
No, but
Someone
like,
someone posted a picture of Vesemir, and you know how Vesemir
Yeah.
is kind of older, he's
Little-
gotten a little bit round, he's
Yeah.
got the gray hair, and then like a side by side of Mark Hamill, and then they're like
Like, that'll work.
confirmed, and then the Witcher team, like their art team, not just like a rough Photoshop job, but they like actually drew from scratch Mark Hamill as Vesemir, and it looked insanely good. And Mark Hamill replied, "I don't know who this is, but yes."
Damn.
So he was like, "I want to do it."
Well, they
So
had-
I really hope he does it.
that would be so cool. Yeah, the second you said that, I made the comparison. I was like, yeah, dude, that could be him.
All right, maybe
Yeah.
they wouldn't screw it up. That'd be great if they did it well.
I'm worried they're gonna fucking mangle it because it's Netflix.
So, Brad,
Netflix
you're
puts
gonna
us with
fall
some-
into The Witcher.
What is that supposed to mean?
That's
Netflix's
a-
other series, for the most part, have been pretty good.
Yeah, but well, okay, the ones that we all love are like the 2% out of the 98 that they put out. Like if you go into Netflix and look at all of their originals, there's a lot of like really bad originals.
Really?
So I mean, like I have confidence in them, but at the same time, it's like it's worrying because they fucked a
They've been-
lot of projects up.
They've been hit and miss. I'll
Yeah.
be honest, I don't pay enough attention to be able to think of most of the misses, so I guess I only hear about the successful ones.
Sure.
Well, that and at
Yeah.
the same time, they have a long history of just axing really successful projects for no reason. Like the big one right now is Sense8. That's the most recent one where it was like really successful, and they were like, nah, no third season, and then they announced that it was coming back, and then like they said it wasn't. Yeah. So they're they've fucking toyed with people's minds over that show.
Damn.
Annoying when they do that. I hope
It's
they don't
weird.
become like one of those networks. I think it's ABC or NBC does that a lot. I can't remember the difference between the two networks, but one of them does a lot of like, here's one great season, but for some reason we cancelled it. And
ABC, it's ABC, yeah.
They've used that time slot for
Yeah.
something new. They've just got their eyes on the next fucking thing, and they
So
just
weird.
forget about
So-
the fan base very quickly. I think.
Who canceled Firefly anyway? Killed them.
Oh my
Uh,
God! Right? I think it was
the guy
Fox.
It was the guy that invented
Originally
guns.
on Fox.
It was-
Donald
It was
Trump,
the guy that
Donald
invented
Trump?
guns.
the
Donald
Chinese
Trump.
time
It
traveler.
Yeah.
was Bonald. Yes.
Chinese time traveler.
Yeah.
That's an in joke that we had before the stream started. If everyone's like, I don't understand, is that like a repeat or
She's talking stupid again.
No, it's not a joke. Donald Trump is actually a Chinese time traveler,
That's true.
Moving.
and he wants to build another Great Wall.
This is how conspiracy
Yeah.
theories are started. This is how they're started. As someone out there is
This
gullible
is why we
enough
I think-
can't have
to
nice
fucking
things.
believe
Well,
it.
yeah, what you mean to say is this is why we can't have nice things.
I tell you one nice thing that we can have.
We could actually start D&D because it's 140.
Loot.
Loot. Well, we'll see.
No.
How about we play D&D? I mean, you guys get loot sometimes, you know,
You know, here and
when
there.
you rob a merchant.
We never get any money, but we occasionally get some
Come on,
loot.
we haven't done that in 6 episodes. Let's catch y'all up, since some people are here for D&D. Not everyone, but some. Last time on Dragon Ball Super, the gunslingers had a little hoo-ha in the street. Carlias and his old training buddy slash rival slash friend thing, the Wild Weevil, famed bounty hunter, had a shootout in the street by moonlight. Carlias winning and claiming his musket repeater. He didn't take the bait.
Brad. I'm gonna have to ask you to never say musket repeater ever again.
It's a person. It's okay.
He took his single shot weapon. He took his weapon from him that he won, and the rest of you got drunk, pretty much. Won a few coins off of some of the peasantry. Mr. Walter Benthy headed into the temple in town, which led him into this kind of weird labyrinth. He got a little lost, got a little confused, started to suffocate mildly, and then either had a very religious, odd experience and initiated into a pact with an ancient being, or just, suffered some mild brain trauma for a little while. And then handed the reins over to Balgaresh, who seemingly got him out. Walter then mechanically became 1 part warlock, 6 parts sorcerer. Is that what you are? You level 7,
Yeah.
you guys?
Yeah.
I don't even know anymore. You're just superheroes. I don't even care. I just throw whatever I want into the CR ratings at this point. I'm going to kill it. It's fine. I don't need to know your levels. The Carlias was followed home. He spotted that some people were following him home, back to the saloon, the hotel, the tavern, inn that you're staying at, and you guys got some sleep. It sounds like not a lot happened, but maybe it didn't. Let's see what happens this week. On Tale. I'm so bad at wrap-ups. My memory is so fucked. I'm very sorry, everybody, but I assure you my memory is really poor. I have just a terrible memory.
I love it.
And yeah, I'm better at improving than memory. Okay, guys, just give me a break. I'm just going to teleport you through your morning.
Okay.
Yeah, because fuck you guys. This is my fucking show. You guys don't. You guys damn lucky you get to be here.
Chad's getting a glimpse of what kind of a diva Brad is actually. Off.
I'm actually trying to buy myself time while I fucking click play on these things.
Yeah, I love doing that.
So the bunch of you will have slept through the evening. You had like a fine night. Nothing broke in. Nothing came to get you. These people that were maybe outside that nobody could see in an epic run of failed perception checks didn't appear to be there. They didn't, and during the evening nobody came in. There wasn't any like masked dudes that like put a bag over your head and dragged you out, beat you in the street. I'd say you probably woke up, you probably had some breakfast, probably some sour eggs, stale bread, just maybe like a shit kicker light to start the day off. And you were also summoned to the Carved Men hideout to see Stonetooth. And we're going to assume you did that. Because dilly-dally, shilly-shally. Carlias will have led the way. We'll say it's a little after sunup, maybe like 8, 9 in the morning. Nice and early, but not too early. After you've had your long walk through the desert, you're probably still ever so slightly sore. A couple of blisters. Carlias can lead you to this area of town at the northwest of town. The area of town, by the way, that you're in, where there's this huge manor house, which is a walled-off area with this structure in the center that has specific kind of architecture to it, and it's very different to the more Western style that you see around town, which is mostly like wooden houses and those like saloon doors and wooden shuttered windows. This has like a kind of more oldie worldy European style. To us, it would look kind of Tudorish. It's stone and red brick, archways, ornate looking and old looking. And there are a spattering of buildings in the area that look similar. Very nice looking red brick buildings that look a lot nicer, but also a lot older than some of the other buildings here. And this seems to be the area towards the northwest of town that maybe the nobility of town live in, as far as the nobility in this town goes. Again, this is a very kind of middle of the road town. There's really not much here by way of like people. But any nobility that do live here almost definitely live in this area of town. And this is also where you'll find this very odd looking squat building with these kind of like additional parts that seem to be built onto it. The main core of the building is kind of like a stone, maybe an old tavern that seems to have been refurbished and then added onto. There's all these kind of extra sections that have clearly been added on recently. There's a giant symbol painted into the stone above the main entrance doorway of the carved men's symbol, which is the kind of skull, tribal looking melted face kind of look with the eyes that look out. However, entering by daytime, it seems a lot less creepy. It doesn't seem as much like a brigand's hideout. For the most part, the patronage as you step inside are gone. There's a handful of people sitting around, but Carlias, to you who was here last night, there was a lot more of these guys sitting around, very rough-looking, strong, experienced-looking killers and mercenaries and thieves. Boots up on tables, you know, like a woman draped across their legs, swilling a bottle of wine to themselves. And this morning, there's maybe 2 or 3 patrons just sitting as if they're waiting for something. Still these hard-looking men, but more like they're on business, like they're waiting to do some work. The bar appears to be closed. The woman, the barmaid, doesn't appear to be present. And stepping in, immediately, you see the smaller form of the maybe mid-60s aged human gentleman of Stonetooth, the guy that met you at the the edge of town when you first arrived. As soon as you walk in, the lot of you, he swivels quickly, his eyes widening, looking down towards Arden's feet, and he goes, "Get that cat out of here!"
Excuse me. It's not a cat, it is a polymorphed duke.
Right. Polymorph Duke or not, I'm deadly allergic.
Well, I could just hang back a little bit. How about that?
How about you tie it up outside with horses?
No.
Put it in a box.
It'll stay on his shoulder. Don't worry about it. Arden?
Leave it in here.
How about, okay, you know what? Just, I'll go make it a box. I'll create a carrier. Jeez,
Surely the Duke is capable of following simple instructions like wait outside.
I'm not leaving Duke out in the city. Duke, what do you think? I agree. Okay, fine, I'll be back.
I'll walk outside for a second. Is there any stone nearby?
Stone?
Yeah.
In what sense? Like a rock or like a big, like
yeah,
reed?
just like a big piece of stone that's just laying around that's not essential to anything.
Roll me a d20. Why not roll a dice to find out? Yes, there is exactly whatever it is particularly that you're looking for. Maybe 10 feet away.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. So what is my intelligence? Yeah. Okay, he goes over and casts a 4-level spell, stone shape, and I'm gonna make him a little carrier.
Yeah. That still gonna be heavy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, sure. You sit for a moment and craft this just like ancient-looking Neanderthal-looking carrier, like you're something out of the Flintstones, with a lid or a front cage opening. Like, how do you want?
Yeah,
it to look?
as nice as it is, it can have 2 hinges and a latch at best. So
Yeah.
it's not gonna be like
A
super
full-on
amazing.
Flintstones animal carrying thing. And yeah, I assume you can create that. Duke doesn't immediately walk in though.
Yeah.
That's for
I'll explain to Duke with because I also have like Raja, my character does have the ability to convey simple ideas and stuff to animals through whatever my Fearbolt magic is. What is it? Speech of beast and leaf. So they can understand the meaning of my words, though you have no special ability to understand them in return. And I'll just explain that we're going into a
deadly place, and I want you to be as protected as possible. So you now have a stone stagecoach for these more interesting places.
Give me an animal handling check with advantage. The cat kind of looks up at you, cocks its head a little, and then trots on over and gets inside the cage and sits down and hunkers down. You know, when they do that thing where their back legs go up like a chicken. He sits there,
I'll give him some food.
seems to be comfortable enough. Accepts the food. Yeah.
Yeah.
Heading back in.
Yeah.
As you head back in, everybody's gone. There's like 2 or 3 guys still sat at the table, very hard-looking men, but your comrades in Stonetooth seem to have left.
Excuse me, the individuals I came in with, where are they?
There's an elf sitting near you with like a very large, like wide-brimmed hat, similar to what Carlias used to wear. Turns to you and just says, "What? What do you want?"
I just came in with some friends, and we were going to talk to the individual that came out. He's allergic to cats.
Right, yes, Stonetooth. They went down to the corridor, presumably to his office, right at the far end. Although I would knock just in case they are not in there.
Can I insight check him?
Yeah. It's kind of hard to read, but it seems like he just wants to be rid of you and is being relatively truthful.
Okay. I'll
Kind of
take
a-
note of his hat and I'll walk down to the office and knock. Whatever
The rest of you, from inside the office of Stonetooth. Stonetooth's office is, again, it's a relatively large room. There's 2 chairs, not enough for all of you, and there are 2 guards that stand either side of this very large, relatively nice. It's not quite like an ornate, beautiful desk, but it's still nicely crafted, large, relatively plain desk that he sits behind in a very comfortable-looking chair. There's a couple of trinkets and bits and bobs around the room, but mostly this seems to be an area that he just does business from. There's lots of parchment, a couple of scrolls, various boxes with locks on, and obvious piles of coin that seem to be piled up in areas, and he seems to have been going through counting them, although they appear to be in nice areas around, not just on his desk, but on shelves and things. As you all step in, he's basically spent the entire time complaining about the cat, walking down the hallway. But once he steps into the office, he turns to his 2 men and says, "Right, you 2 can fuck off." And they kind of look at him. "Sir, I said fuck off. Listen, if they want to kill me, they can kill me, can't they? But you're going to know about it. Well, you think this lot are just going to escape like that without the use of magic? I don't think so. Get the fuck out." and the two men kind of look a little confused. And as they head towards the door knocks. Arden, the door opens in front of you, and these two very large human men that tend to stick with Stonetooth. Confused looks on their faces just brush past you, leaving the door open, and you can step in.
Rude. I'll close the door.
Yeah, close that fucking door behind you.
Rude.
Do you close the door?
Yeah, probably. Like, no, fuck that.
Cleric. Right. Put your ear up against the door. Make sure no one's listening.
Okay.
Come, ain't got all day.
Is anybody listening on the other side?
Give me a perception check. Don't hear anyone rustling around. Doesn't sound like there's anyone on the other side of the door.
I'm just gonna open the door and look out.
Yeah, you quickly open the door and look out. There's nobody there. You see the two forms, the two men. They're heading back down towards the front area where this kind of bar area is. There's a couple of doors on either side that all appear to be closed. Set of stairs that lead off. Nobody directly outside.
Well, it looks clear.
I'll close the door.
Right. Now, keep that fucking cat away from me. Make sure it don't touch my chair.
I'm probably just gonna have the freaking carrier facing me and just sitting and just talking to the cat the whole time.
Yeah. He crosses his arms and leans forward onto the desk and kind of steadily looks you over silently one by one, sort of sizing you up, marking you, and then says, right, I can't trust any of my own people, and I trust the Chancellor even less. So that leaves you lot. Want to earn yourselves a few copper pieces?
Copper.
No.
Never been so insulted in my whole life. I'll do it.
Copper?
He looks left and right. The shelves that are around him are filled with silver and gold, and he says, do you see any copper pieces in here?
No, are you trying to get rid of them onto us?
Listen. I'll give you a bag of gold each, and you'll make a strong ally in me. You do what I say and you do it right.
We'll do it.
How big's
Right.
the bag?
Hold on now.
Raja he's like raising he was like raising a finger and says right when she says we'll do it, and he goes,
Now hold on before we shoot the gun on anything. Two things. One, I still need bullets. Two, what the hell do you need us to do?
Bullets you can get from my boys once you leave.
Deal.
How about arrows?
Listen, do I look like a charity service?
Well, we need supplies.
You look like a peasant girl. There's no need to act like one, all right? I'll get you some arrows. You can get them from my boys. Speak to the elf.
is there a chair or just are there other chairs and such in the room other than his?
There's two chairs and no other chairs in the room.
Okay. I'm just gonna take one of them and like prop my feet up on his desk and sit back like I own the place and say, get to the point. What do you need?
How muddy are your boots?
They wouldn't be, because I like Raja would have like gone out of his way to take a nice long shower and such. After weeks in the desert, he's actually cleaned up for once.
Yeah, we can say that you're all relatively clean. Maybe your clothes aren't super clean, but you guys kind of probably wash face in the morning if you wanted to.
For the first time in quite a while, he's actually properly cleaned.
Yeah. Anyone else taking the other chair?
No. Actually, yeah, no, I'm sitting back by Arden and looking at the Duke the entire time.
I'm looking down at my clothes, thinking about what he said about me being a peasant.
But I did ask him how big the bag was.
He chooses to ignore you.
Fuck.
He he seems rich. He claimed that this was his town, and he is clearly the head of this powerful-looking guild. Like, guilds are not a huge thing in Dustval, but this one seems to have the run of this town at least. There doesn't seem to be any vying factions other than maybe the town watch and guard. He says, right, 2 nights ago, my beloved wife, Abigaila, was stuck 6 times like a common pig.
I'll take my feet off the desk when he says that and kind of sit up. So this one's personal, huh?
Very personal.
Any leads?
None. Like I said, don't trust anyone.
Do you believe it was an inside job? Is there someone who'd want to replace you, run you out of town?
Don't think there's no one that could replace me, but don't think none of these boys can't be sold. That being said, the bastard made off with a big bag of jewels. Pretty much everything my wife owned from the dresser.
Shouldn't be that hard to find then.
Now, all I want is for you to find this murdering thief. Bring me his name or his head. But I want proof. Can't just go wagging your fingers at any old crow in town.
I'll just kind of look over at Carlias. What say you?
Huh? That seems fair.
As much as I hate letting Leon and the rest of the group get ahead of us,
That'll be
doesn't seem quite right to leave this unresolved.
I mean, that one guy, what? Leon?
Mm-hmm.
He has a bit of a masculinity problem anyway. It's fine.
Maybe he'll get distracted on the way there. Who knows?
I'm gonna turn
Yep.
back to the others. What about you guys?
Fracha's up for it. I'm up for it.
Said a bag of gold
I'll give you a bag of gold and
each.
safe passage through the town. There's a few people out for your heads. Don't think I don't know who each and every one of you is, except for the halfling. But if she's in with you lot, she's in trouble. Ain't that right? Nasty
Yeah.
bastards after the lot of you.
Actually, question. Don't suppose you know who was running around the streets last night?
Running around the streets watching you, was it?
I had a little inkling, so to speak.
Not my boys, that's for sure.
All right, we'll take the job, but there's a couple other things I want from you besides just a bag of gold. Specifically, information. There's a couple of names that I need you to have your network of folks digging up on while we do this.
Depends on the names, boy.
Solomon, Stellion, and whoever it is you say is after me, because most of the world thinks I'm dead. So I'd like to know who it is that figured out what happened.
Right. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
You look into those and we'll go find your jewel thief / murderer. But you're going to have to show us where your house was, and you're going to have to show us where she was killed. And any other clues so far.
Right then. Follow me. He stands up and opens the door, heads out, and just starts pretty much marching towards the stairway. As he's going, he looks around and heads up the stairs, and his voice trails back down. She might have been my 5th wife, but she was my favorite. Not a nicer woman in town. Don't know why anyone would want to kill her. And he's wandering up the stairs. The stairs kind of curl upwards, and you sort of feel like you might be heading into the tower section of this weird building, the upper floor.
Before we
splits
go
off-
up, I'm gonna pull over Walter. Yeah, you may want to be careful around here.
Why? What's up?
Well, when I was here yesterday, everyone was looking me up and down like I was a piece of meat, shall we say.
Yeah.
If anything goes topsy-turvy, I know you can't use your magic or anything.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. We talked about this yesterday. You guys told me to stab things. I've got this. I'm gonna pull out the sword again. This is all I've got.
I'll give him 2 daggers. Well, if
No.
you can't get close, throw.
I'm gonna turn around and say no.
Throw?
Give him that and like, point at your. I'm gonna point at your crossbow or Carlis's crossbow. Give him that. Something where you can stay out of harm's way.
Can he use it?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Can
can
you use
use
it?
one. Yeah. I know how to
Sure.
shoot.
I'll give him the heavy cross with him.
I'm gonna stick my head in over their shoulders and just be really obnoxious about it. It's like,
If we can't use magic, not that it stopped me before, how are we supposed to use the raise dead spell on his wife?
What?
I don't think we're
no,
supposed to.
no.
No, Arden, we're
We don't even.
not.
Raja was fine with it.
I mean,
No,
what? I
What?
feel like
No, he.
Did-
Anyway,
Did we not
you
tell
in a-
him?
we have a job to do.
What? Wait.
Okay. We'll do it your way.
wait, Arden,
Right.
you said you used magic?
What? No.
I just walk away. I continue following what's this, or like walk faster to catch up with the other guy and ignore this nonsense.
Stonetooth takes you up 2 flights of stairs, basically. There's one upstairs area that seems to be, it looks a lot like an old inn. Probably these rooms are either rented out or maybe even lived in by some of the carved men here in the actual building. Passes that hallway and then comes up to a locked door. He pulls out a set of keys, unlocks the door, opens it to a much wider hallway, which has been split up by various, like, this looks like a home now. We're looking at like an apartment, kind of medieval apartment area with various rooms that lead off, one into an area where there's a cook pot, one where there's a basin, another with a table. He walks to the furthest room at the end, opens the door, and just kind of pushes it open and allows you all to walk past and step in. He says, "Right here, in this very room, that bastard stabbed her." You guys going in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you all
go
step
ahead and take
in.
a look.
It's this guy's a pretty hard looking, surrounded by hard men, and you walk into just a sort of flowery, rose tinted room. There's nice rose covers. There's a dresser with like an ornate looking mirror in the center, pretty rare, expensive looking. There are some dead flowers in a pot, or wilting flowers, I would say, on one side. A nice looking cabinet, a nice wardrobe, and then a neatly made bed. No dead body in it. He walks over to it and taps it and says, "She was laying in the bed. 2 a.m., I reckon. Killer comes in, knifes her. Don't know how he got in, but a window was unlocked, so that's your first clue, I reckon. Crept in. Dunno. Can't be using magic, not unless he's one of your lot." Kind of looks over at Arden. "Well, listen. Mum's the word, yeah? Careful round my boys. And for the rest of you," kind of points at everyone but Lash, "you'll want to be careful round the guards, the watchmen, any of the Chancellor's men. If I know your face, they probably know your face. You're wanted criminals. More so even than me.
On what charges?
High treason."
Wait. We committed treason? Wait, why did we commit treason? What do we do?
I think
We
we've always
didn't.
committed treason.
Oh. Wait, is this
Seems
because the
Brent's got it out for you.
you guys?
We'll discuss it later. Don't worry.
Nothing like having enemies in high places. I'll turn back to Stonetooth. Where would someone go in this town if they needed to offload stolen goods? Are there fences?
Plenty of fences. Most of them work for me.
So wouldn't you know immediately if this stolen jewelry showed up?
Depends if they're going to skip town. Ain't been a train yet, so they're probably still here.
When's the next train?
I'd say later today, maybe tomorrow.
So we've got to work quick. And, well, assuming they're not stupid, they're not going to try and sell it in this town because word would get back to you right away. We can only assume then they're probably trying to leave as quickly as they can. Are there any rundown or abandoned buildings relatively close to the train station?
Train station itself's pretty run down. There's the old tower, the old lookout,
All
a
right.
few houses in town. Wouldn't be hard to find, I'd say.
Can you make us a list of potential hiding places where people would camp out in this town while we search for clues?
I'll give it a thought.
All right. And while he's doing that, then I guess I'll try to look for. I'm less looking for clues around the scene of the crime because I'm not Sherlock Holmes, and instead I'm gonna look for traces of footsteps and tracks leading away from the place afterwards. Like try to track someone that might have left, specifically outside any windows or back doors or anything like that.
Whilst they were
One
talking,
relatively large window. There's no doors other than the one that leads into the bedroom itself.
whilst Raja and Stonetooth are talking, Carlisle would have been looking over the window and looking around.
Stonetooth turns around and says, "Listen, they've robbed me blind, but I'm sure you'll find something to get your hands on. Try not to nick anything else. I'm going to take a look downstairs before people get suspicious." And he heads off. "If you want to speak to me, knock on the door." And he heads out, back down the stairs and away from where you're going. Give me investigation checks, those who are doing a look.
While we're searching, did he just give us permission to rob his place?
He said try not to take anything else. And I'm definitely looking for something.
I mean, I think he said try not to nick too much. That's what I heard.
Oh, I thought he said try not to.
My eyes dart immediately over to Raja, just like, really?
What?
We're helping the guy out, and
I in turn and look at Lash and Arden, and then back at Carlias, and
we're gonna end up dying here soon. Anyway,
we're gonna end up dying somewhere. We might as well be getting paid for it.
Who's investigating to thieve and who's investigating the actual murder?
I am thieving.
Carlisle is
Okay.
Talking to the cat.
So I've puzzled out that probably the real value is what's already been taken. So I'm probably actually investigating and I'm hoping for jewels down the road.
Yeah.
Doing something good aligned only because there's nothing evil to do.
that is what we call neutral.
Very neutral.
That's when you default to the good thing because there's nothing really tempting on the evil side at the moment. That's called neutral.
We'll get the jewels when we find the criminals.
I'm gonna less so be investigating the room and more so the exits and look for footprints and such.
Yeah, I'm totally pretending I'm searching for clues, but I'm just trying to find money.
I'm looking like, did he mention there? He keeps talking about that she was stabbed. So he took the body away.
But there's no body there. It doesn't
Ostensibly, he took it though, right?
look like it's stabbed in the bed. I mean, you
So
would
we're to assume that.
he didn't leave it here for 2 days. No.
Gotcha. But I mean, he removed it and nobody else saw him because he's like, I better keep it a secret. Or
Well, people know that she's dead.
okay.
I think, yeah, he's just,
Just wondered, fifth wife and all.
yeah. He seemed to be more like shying away from the idea that you guys are investigating specifically.
Mm-hmm.
You can question him again later on. Those of you that are looking for clues, begin wandering around, checking the exits, checking door frames, door handles, the window, which has a latch and a lock on the inside, is a drag up window. It has some shutters that you can pull on the outside that are wooden, but loose. They hang open, and then a lifty window which locks. Doesn't appear to have been tampered with, broken. Nothing appears to have been like smashed in or anything like that. There isn't a lot of stuff here. Any areas that look like they might have had jewels in. There are a couple of like empty looking boxes that probably had rings and necklaces, which are empty. The drawers seem to contain varied clothes, as if they share the drawers. Some clothes male, some clothes female, dresses and the such. The wardrobe itself, similar. Clothes mostly, a couple of pairs of shoes. Relatively nice looking clothes as well. Not like epic level finery that you might find from like the Emperor himself, but probably nicer than the rags that you guys are wearing. Walter, you find a pair of very nice looking panties, lingerie. As soon as you open the drawer and find them, the voice of Balgaresh in your head pipes up. Can't believe it.
No.
She was such a lovely woman. And you're going through the
No.
dead's under drawer. In the hope for a few copper. Core, I thought I was a nasty bastard.
That's not.
You
It's not what it
are
looks like. No, Balgaresh. No, I'm investigating.
Go
I'm
on. Go
I'm
on then.
investi-
Give him a
Alright.
sniff if you have to.
Walter, are you all right?
Oh, now I'm close. Yep. No, I'm fine. I
You're shaking your head around.
found the wrong drawer. I looked down. There was panties. It was
That's
gross.
and this is cause for alarm.
Why would they kill her?
Yeah. Balgaresh was
Yes?
making
Can't
fun of
believe-
me.
Cause for alarm. Why would you be scared of a pair of underwear?
I understand why they'd rob him.
Balgaresh.
Like,
Balgaresh is scared of underwear. That's the
Ah,
yeah.
Scared of underwear.
Yeah.
Core, I wish I owned a pair of underwear. I'd strangle you with it.
you know. I'm gonna walk over to Walter, and I'm trying to whisper to him while Balgaresh is like yelling in his head. So I don't know if he can hear what I'm saying, but I'm gonna walk over to him and go, you know,
Terribly sad.
if you weren't say
A lovely
occupied
woman.
at the moment,
Yeah.
maybe you'd be able
Pious,
to
really.
reach out and talk to the
Friendly.
murdered lady.
Always nice to me.
Oh.
Bought me a few drinks.
Yeah,
every now
well,
and
I can't get rid of him.
Didn't spend too
I
much
mean, I
time
can-
in
I'll
on the old stone itself.
maybe I can reach out. I don't know.
Well, see if
Brad?
you can, work your
Yeah,
magic here.
I don't know. I don't usually. They just kind of usually come to me. It's not like I've ever. You were the only one I actively sought out. Brad, DM.
Mhm.
Can I try and do some mumbo jumbo voodoo shit and commune with this dead lady if she's around? Is there a way I can attempt this? I burn a dried human bone, inhale the dust, and pass out for an hour or something? Go into the dream realm or whatever?
What is your bullshit? Your bullshit is that they just show up, though, right?
Yeah. It's just that I'm specifically asking you if there's any mumbo
I would say
jumbo.
unless she just shows up,
Okay.
you'd need to like cast one of the specific spells that lets you do that.
Yeah.
You-
Yeah. I mean, I can try. I'll no guarantees. I'm just gonna sit down for like an hour and or however long they're there and all.
12 seconds before Balgaresh goes, "What are you doing?"
Oh my. Okay, I'm trying.
I'm gonna walk away and leave him there and say, "It's just a thought,
Trying
Keep
to-
your ears up in case
You off your nuts? We could lose our tongue.
No, what? No,
What are you doing?
I'm trying to. I'm not gonna. I'm.
Do you know where you are, boy?
No, I'm not
You
gonna.
look preoccupied, so I'm gonna leave
fuck,
you to it.
Fuck, he won't.
Walk away.
I
You
just,
fucking lose your legs.
okay, all right.
And then I'm
Listen,
gonna walk
man,
back over and say, "You need to stop doing this
Okay,
thing
I
where you
can't
look back
listen.
and forth."
It's
when-
just it's so.
Your ears, do you?
He comes from every direction.
How
It's-
did you keep this secret for so many years when you sit there turning your head like constantly back and forth? Like
It's-
someone's...
I got tired eventually of trying to, hold it in.
I saw a man's eyebrows turn into noses once.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
I'm
I'm
gonna-
just.
I'm gonna go
I'm gonna
Don't
let
fuck
him.
with the stone.
back to the...
I'm gonna let him continue on. Keep going.
I'm
and
gonna
doing his
walk away
fucking
while-
thing. Yeah.
I'm gonna walk
I
away
just.
while poor Walter is...
I just resign. I just sigh of defeat and just.
Balgaresh really doesn't want you to cast any rituals or fuck around.
I wasn't going
to. Most of you look over stuff. Lash, just as you are about to give up on the windowsill, you pick out a little something. While the building itself is quite nicely internally designed, the outside of it still looks quite old in places, including some of the wood on this windowsill. So it's kind of an old, cracked, weird-looking windowsill anyway. The paint has long since chipped away and been sandblasted by the desert. and there's just cracks and chips in it. Although to you, you recognize at the last second that there are two particular chips in this which resemble something familiar to you and your Kenku rogue buddies. There was almost definitely, as far as you're concerned, a grapple and rope used on the outside of this, and it probably hooked up onto the outside of the windowsill and then was yanked down upon. Looking at these cracks, although they're pretty hidden, give me another investigation check on just that.
Yeah, because what I would be wondering is, given my experience doing this, can I tell roughly if it was like human weight or halfling weight, or how dug in the marks are? But there's
it looks pretty dug in, to the point where the outside looks like it's come away a little from the wall itself. Most likely a full-grown person, at least. Unlikely to be a child or a halfling or a gnome. Would definitely have been a larger man or an orc or something big.
Sure.
Yeah. Almost definitely this, at one point, whether it was 2 nights ago or whether it was 2 years ago, a grapple and rope was used on this windowsill.
Gotcha.
A hook.
Okay. Who's all still in this room?
I think
Everyone,
we
I
all
think.
are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would call Raja over. Raja, come look at this.
I'll leave Walter arguing with his head and walk over there. What'd you find?
See these marks here? It looks like someone grappled their way in.
Oh, I wonder. I'm gonna look immediately under the window and see if there's like splinters of wood or any little fragments of the windowsill still there to indicate that it was really recent.
Yeah, give me an investigation check. There's some relatively fresh chipped pieces of wood, painted bits from the upper part that maybe have fallen in and haven't been blown away. It hasn't been particularly windy since you've been here. At your best guess, you'd say it's probably relatively fresh.
Yeah. As soon as she points that out and I look down and see that, I'll just say, yeah, that looks like it was just done. I'm gonna open the window and look out and down. How far down is it?
It's 2 small stories. So, what is a story? About 12 foot?
Yeah, like 13-ish feet.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe around 30 feet-ish. Your
Okay.
best guess.
Is there anything else nearby that could, like, I don't know, a street lamp post, the roof of a different building, or anything else that could have been used to, like, quickly descend or break their fall? Or is it just a straight shot all the way to the ground?
Yeah, this side of the building faces out to the the north side of town, and there's really not too much here. You can kind of make out the edge of the train tracks and then them heading off away from town, but this is kind of the final building on the edge of the street, and there's nothing there. It's just dust and sand and dirt. There are a couple of houses a little further on, but there's no lamppost. There's no like convenient bushes or piles of New York garbage trash cans for people to jump off of.
No eagles up on the, or not eagles, but no pigeons up on the roof and a hay stack underneath. Okay.
No, this is a sheer drop all the way down, and there's pretty much nothing around but rock and dust.
This is actually perfect. There's no other buildings or anything else out here, which means no one has any reason to be here. So there probably won't be any other footprints covering it up. I'm gonna go outside and take a look, and I'm gonna circle around outside the building and walk around to the outside, while the others are whether they're coming with me or if they're continuing to investigate the room. But I'm gonna walk around down there and look for footprints.
Yeah, who's doing what?
Going with Raja.
I'll peek out the window and watch them.
I'm just sitting there talking to the cat.
I'll notice they're leaving and I'll I'll walk down, but I'm gonna speak to some of the men down there for bullets and such.
Cool. Let's follow Arden. The cat looks at you and licks its paw and looks out at you from the inside of the Flintstones thing that you created.
I know. They're all such little busybodies. I feel like all they have to do is wait until tomorrow and I could solve this immediately. Kitty, they just don't understand me.
What, Arden? Why?
I'm talking to my cat. Shut up.
You're a foot away from me, Arden.
Ugh. Oh, hi. Oh, it's you.
Hi.
I thought you were the other one.
Who do you think it was?
It was the shorter one.
No, the killer.
The top. Oh. I don't know.
You've
I
no
can't-
guesses?
No, I'll figure it out tomorrow.
Why?
Because, I don't know, today's my day off. We all have to have a day off.
Right. Yeah. Okay. No, I mean,
From
yeah,
inside
you make
your
it.
head, Balgaresh says,
Oh,
"What a fucking freak!" He talks to himself.
But that's what I said, Kitty.
Well,
And that is how I created the Shallow Scar Accords.
Wait, he created the Shallow Scar Accords.
No, he didn't. He's
Oh.
lying.
All right. What them not doing out there? On the ground.
Go back looking out.
No. Actually, yeah, on the ground. You're gonna.
Outside. Nope. I took it. I was like, all right.
Back inside.
Yeah, you rolled. Oh, they all died. All right.
Never mind.
That D1000 is working great.
The two of you, Lash and Raja, head downstairs past Stonetooth's door, which is closed now. Carlias is heading behind you. There's a couple of patrons inside this bar area, and you two head outside, leaving Carlias behind, who begins to approach someone and do something that we'll find out in a second. The two of you head out and do like a circle of the building. What are you looking for?
I'm just gonna go directly below the window, and since it's on the, you said it's on the north side of the building, and there's nothing else of interest here, so I'm hoping there won't be too many dozens of other footprints covering it up.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go right there and just like look for footprints, tracks, discarded ropes, or anything else that might have been here. But mainly just tracking, trying to find footprints.
Okay. Give me a survival check to look around. Lash, you doing anything in particular, specific?
So while he's looking for that, I'm just gonna make sure, as best I can, that no one is watching us from windows, alleys, down the street.
All right, give me a perception check. Oh, there, everyone's watching you. I'm kidding. Raja
And
kind of.
And I'll tell her the same thing. Look around for footprints, see if you can spot their tracks.
Raja starts looking around on the ground, and you start looking around for people. The town is sort of fully woken up at this point. The traders have gone to work. The area across from the train tracks from you is starting to make a lot of noise as people, the hustle and bustle of people going to collect any goods. Even things like bread and food and stuff is sold there, and that's where the majority of the townsfolk are going that pick up that kind of thing. You hear forges and armorers and shopkeepers starting up things and people starting to shout at each other. The manor nearby is all walled off, so you can't sort of see anything or any real things going on there. But in terms of the people that are generally around you, they just look like normal folk going to and from their work or their homes. There's no sort of shady figures leaning up against an alleyway with their eye on you, which discreetly vanish when you glance at them or anything like that. For the most part at the moment, you seem to be alone, or at least unwatched, as far as you can tell, at an initial glance around. Raja, you start looking around for tracks or evidence that somebody used a rope or a grappling hook to climb up. On the ground itself, the dust and the dirt, you'd assume that although if the tracks were made right now, you could probably quite easily see in the very shallow dust and sand that appears here. This is still very rocky compared to some of the other towns that are more desert-based in the actual thick deserty sands. You'd probably be able to make out boot tracks very easily, but after 2 days, it'd probably be quite difficult, even with the low winds. That being said, there's a very obvious boot print, maybe about 10 feet up on the wall, which kind of looks smudged, like it was a slip, and caused like a half boot print and then a smudge down the wall, and then the rest of the wall looks kind of clean, but the wall's very dirty and cracked and painted dodgily anyway, so you wouldn't 100% know whether it was new or old. But there's definitely like a very strange looking muddied boot print in the old cracked paint. In terms of like rope and grapple and other evidence, you don't see anything here at all.
Is there anything abnormal about the boot print or anything distinctive about it? Or is it just like a generic pair of shoes?
Give me an investigation check on the boot print. I'd say on the 11, you just kind of spot it and work it out. Survival. You can make out that it is a boot print, and that it's relatively large, but it's too difficult to really. It's not like it's like a perfectly framed thing where somebody's put a boot in some paint and pressed it neatly onto a wall. I think you're convinced that it's a boot print, fresh. It's chipped away a lot of the paint as it's fallen down. That's about it. It's pretty big.
Well, unfortunately, it looks like the trail's gone cold here, unless you can spot footprints here in the sand that I'm missing.
Okay, so you didn't step anywhere around here, right? These are yours. Okay, I'll look. And I'm just going to look all the way surrounding the area and just see what I can see.
Are you trying to like track things or find things intelligently?
Trying to find something to track. So trying to find a boot that would loosely be, like a large adult male, for instance.
Like a boot print.
Yeah.
Give me a survival check then, I think.
Okay.
This is kind of using your knowledge of the wilds and in tracking. I'd say you come up pretty much the same as Raja in that there's really not too much evidence of any boot prints or any, but also not that there wasn't any. More like it would be very difficult to spot any straight up boot prints or any really obvious evidence in this just rock ground. There's really like no chance unless there was blood trails coming from the window, which there isn't. Then it's going to be pretty difficult to just like track this person in that way. You don't see anything other than the muddied boot print. You don't find any rope, grapple, anything like that.
When we were upstairs looking at the scene of the crime, there should have been, well, I don't know how efficient their like cleaning lady is, but I'm assuming there were bloodstains and such everywhere, right? Like, granted, they would have changed the sheets for sure, but like on the ground around the bed and stuff like that.
Yeah, you didn't see any. I'd say you didn't see any, obviously, and you guys did an extensive kind of look around the room. The mattress and the sheets look new, but there wasn't like gore, like Dexter blood splatter that you could investigate, like
Gotcha.
how the bullet hit the body and from that determine where the shooter was, kind of thing.
How the 5-foot person spilled like 5 gallons of blood everywhere.
Yeah, it was very well cleaned, very expertly cleaned.
Raja, I think we're looking in the wrong place. I think we need to look at the abandoned houses.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd get lucky and maybe they'd left a trail we could follow, but There's just been too much time. Even a light breeze can eventually cover the tracks.
Well,
Maybe if we'd gotten here yesterday.
if you think about this like a thief, well, cause it is a thief, then if I were trying to get out, and so I'm just gonna kind of go through my mind here, like if I wanted to come out of that building and out and away, this is north facing. Is it in an alley? So is there a building right adjacent to it that makes this an alley that we're in?
The Carved Men building is kind of set apart, but it does have like this map doesn't do a great bit of justice, but this whole thing here is one building. The nearest areas are sort of these built up small sections.
Sure.
The map does do a relatively good job of showing. This bit over here at the top right,
Yeah.
the northwest, is one of the areas where the nicer looking houses are.
Uh-huh.
Including here, where it's very built up and very nice looking. This is almost definitely the nobility area.
Gotcha.
The one area where there is a kind of alleyway is on this side, the south part of the building, which closes in on these and then the rest of these are all very similar looking, small wooden houses and two-story buildings that probably cram in a couple of families. Varying sizes, like they were all built at different times by different people over the course of 100 years, 200 years, who knows. But realistically speaking, the area directly around the Carved Men is quite open.
Okay.
It's like a flat open area that seemed like you'd assume has been purposefully left open. Somebody at some point has said, we want this particular building to have this area. And then it's kept aside from the nobilities area, but also kind of bridges that section before the railway. And then the rail tracks, again, serve as a kind of main road. There isn't really a nice set of cobblestone roads that run around this place. It's all kind of just like worn-in dirt track. But there is this main road that runs up the other side. So the eastern side is kind of like heavy traffic. You'd see a lot of people going to and from the traders and the merchants.
Sure.
And the rest of it around it, pretty low traffic with one kind of closed-in area on the south side. In terms of the north, it's just you get like 100 feet, 200 feet before you get to the rest of these houses that are quite nice looking as well.
Sure. So it's pretty exposed. So yeah.
So yeah, it's not too shady. Like jumping down into an alleyway and scurrying off would be quite difficult. You'd definitely jump out, and if you were trying to run somewhere, the closest alleyway or the closest way to jump into a lot of people would either to be run down the train tracks or head into the alleyways to the south.
Gotcha. Raja, there aren't a lot of places to hide around here. I think we should go ask Stonetooth for the list.
You're muted. Now you are.
Still muted.
No.
At this point, he's casting magic, so I'm going to need you to roll me a D. Someone's casting magic.
Oh, no.
Wow.
It would totally be Arden too. If he wasn't a cleric, it
you
would
can-
totally be Arden.
You can hold that thought while you work it out. Inside the bar. Nope, still muted. Carlias, you stop as these two head outside and start to look about the actual structure, and look around the bar area. A lot of okay looking tables. It's a lot nicer looking than the Pilgrim's Saloon, but the chairs and stools are relatively mismatched, like they've been changed a lot over the years and bought in twos and different. The bar itself is closed and seems to be locked up, but there is a couple of people at a couple of different tables. There's the elf that spoke to Arden. There's a dwarf sitting in the furthest corner, robed, and then a halfling with a gun on one hip. from behind you, there's a door that closes to your behind you left, and you hear a woman from behind you say, "Oh, didn't see you there, love. Excuse me."
Test.
There you are. You're back.
Hey, sorry, my mic just randomly shut off, even though I didn't push or do anything.
Magic.
Someone cast silence on me.
Yeah, he cast magic. Someone blow up.
The killer didn't want to hear what Raja had to say. We'll come back to you in a minute. An elven woman pushes past you, and it's the very attractive looking barmaid, the elven barmaid, who kind of squeezes past you. And as you're kind of stood there looking around, she says, "Do you want anything, love? I can open up the bar."
Not any drinks. Stonetooth said I could get some bullets. Do you know which one of the guys I need to talk to?
Bullets, is it?
Yeah.
She looks over towards where the halfling sat and says, "Oi, Crummel, can you have some bullets?" The halfling gives her a little kind of curt nod, and she says, "All right, yeah. Hold on." And she heads off again. She heads into a room, a different room behind you. As she opens it, you can see there's a lot of chests and cupboards inside. She closes it behind her, and you can hear sort of rummaging around for a little while. She doesn't immediately come back out.
I'll head over to the halfling.
Mm-hmm. He's wearing similar garb to you, sort of traveler's clothes, but he has a pair of leather boots on that look relatively nice, spurs on the back. He's got a smaller but wide-brimmed hat. He's pretty rough looking in the face. He has a little kind of fluffy halfling beard that for a halfling would be very imposing, but for the rest of us would be comical. Compared to the rest of the halflings. Black hair, black beard, sitting there packing a pipe with something that smells very profound. As you approach, he doesn't even look up, doesn't move, just carries on packing this pipe carefully.
Yeah, as I approach, I appreciate the bullets.
They ain't coming from me.
What? So where'd you train?
He looks up at you. You look like someone I know.
Oh, yeah?
Friends with the Weevil, is it?
Long time.
Oak Roost?
Yeah.
Yeah, thought so. One of McCrow's boys, isn't you?
Let me guess. You one of his as well?
No. He brings up the pipe and then takes out a little flint and starts chipping at it. Takes him a little while and he begins to catches the odd-looking weeds that he's got inside the thing. When he looks up at you, you see that his face is very old-looking. He's kind of got like a drinker's roadmap that runs down his cheeks, very red. And he takes a deep puff on it and his eyes kind of widen, bloodshot a little underneath as if he hasn't had any sleep. And he gives you a look over and says, "No, don't fuck with McCrow's boys."
Why is that?
Want some? You boys are too fast for me.
I'm good.
Weevil always had a bit.
Well, probably explains why he's so shaky.
Maybe. What do you want? Work?
No, I got too much of that, but don't suppose you were around here a couple of nights ago.
Been around here a few nights, been around there a few nights, depends what you want.
Don't suppose you've seen anyone slinking around?
Ain't nobody not slinking around these parts, boy.
Aside from the usual.
Let's see. You's looking into the killer?
Depends on what you know.
Well, don't know much. What I do know is she was a lovely lady. Sad sight, seeing her all crumpled up, bleeding, stuck like a goddamn animal. Took us a damn good while to clean that up, but we did a good job, huh?
Well, from what I saw,
Stonetooth ain't sleeping in there. Not no more.
I don't
Who
blame
got that room out?
I don't blame him. But no, anyone came in.
Don't know if I trust you, boy. Why you asking? Maybe it was yous what killed her, huh? Ain't nobody gonna suspect a gunslinger stabbing.
Well, for one, I'm not a big fan of using blades. I much prefer the range. And for two, we only arrived here, what, yesterday?
How am I supposed to know you ain't walked around town pretending you's walking in? Oops, lickety split, just arrived. But you been here all week, scoping it out, waiting to kill.
Buddy, I've been walking through the desert for the past week or two. I assure you.
A likely story.
He is going to insight check you.
I mean, I'm not lying.
Yeah.
He says, likely story, eh? That's exactly what a killer would say. But you know what? He's got kind eyes, dwarf. Kind eyes that wouldn't kill an innocent woman, I say. I'm gonna trust you this once, but only on account of you look like the Weevil.
Why does everyone say me and him look alike? I don't see the resemblance.
This a town of dwarves. You all look alike.
Well, that's just racist now.
Ain't nobody said I was a nice guy, huh?
There's a reason you're scared of the McCrows, boys.
Everybody's scared of the McCrows, boys. Everybody should be scared of the McCrows, boys. Lightning fast. Listen, I saw a figure. Black robe, creeping around. Looked pretty big to me. I was just out there smoking, minding my own business. Didn't think much of it. Lots of folks smoking who knows looks like that. Know what I'm saying?
Whereabouts did you see him go?
Walking around outside. About 1 a.m.
Any particular direction? North, east, south, west?
I sees him do 2 circles and then never come back. I'm thinking, this guy's homeless. This guy's looking for a few bits of weed, a couple of coins on the ground, expecting us drunks to be dropping them all over, and then 1 hour later, she dead.
So you said big with black robe. Insight.
Big bastard. Bigger than me, bigger than you.
Can I have an inside check?
You wouldn't know one way or the other. I think you're aware that you wouldn't be able to tell if this guy was lying because he looks crazy. Like at any moment he could just slip into a tale about a giant white whale that he caught. So as far as you can tell, you kind of just gotta take him at his word, I would say. It's pretty hard to read. His face doesn't change, doesn't have any sort of ticks or clues or anything. He's just looking at you wide-eyed, a little too wide-eyed, with those bloodshot eyes.
Well, I appreciate the info. Tell me, where'd you get your gun?
Sin River, where I train.
How much was it?
This thing I got for free. Cost me 1 bullet. Ah!
Can I check out his gun?
Yeah. You can give me an investigation check with disadvantage because it's holstered on his hip. It's
the worst pistol you've ever seen in your entire life. This guy probably isn't even a gunslinger. Probably just carries it to scare people.
How many times you fired that thing?
Told you once, told you again. Don't fuck with the Macrows, boys. Nuh-uh. Especially one what beat the Weevil.
Hey, I'm just curious.
Nah. You ain't tricking me into a duel, boy. Barely got enough coin to fill this pipe, son.
I'm just curious. As a gunslinger, I like to take interest in guns from around the world.
Well, as a businessman, I like to get back to work. You want some work or not, boy?
What kind of work you got?
Killing.
Who?
Long range killing.
Tempt me.
Sneaking around. Killing a boy. That your thing? Got an old man, needs a young boy dead. Offering good money. Gotta make sure it's a bullet. Gotta make sure you're far away from him.
And who's the old man?
Well now, that'd be information for somebody what takes this bounty. And if you take the bounty, you best complete it.
How about I give you 5 gold?
For what?
The name.
Ain't gonna suck your little pecker, boy.
That's Weevil's job.
You want the job or you don't want the job? You're
I
wasting.
want the name of the old man. I'll give you 5 gold for it.
I don't know you from the dust, boy. I ain't giving up my people.
You want the boy dead? What if I get the job done? I want to get my bounty reward.
Well, then you come to me.
What if I want to go to see him?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Kind eyes ain't gonna kill a boy. You gonna kill an old man. That's right. Okay. Ta-ta. No more business. Close the shop. That's what I'm doing. Closing up. Ever heard of a whale?
Fine. I appreciate the bullets.
There she is now. The door opens from behind you. Right, I couldn't find them. It's either these ones or these ones, innit? And she's got 2 boxes in her hands as she's walking over to you.
What do both of the boxes look like?
Give me an investigation check with advantage. How about that? One box is full of bullets that don't make any sense whatsoever. They definitely don't fit either. They're like these round things. They're like too thick and wide. They've got like a weird copper cap or something on the bottom. Really strange looking things that are definitely not bullets. You don't know what they are. Maybe they're shot glasses. The other box is whatever caliber your gun is.
All right.
Box of 50.
Well, how about I take both and see what happens? Yeah, I'll take both of them.
Cool. You have a box of 50 more bullets that fit your guns and a mystery box of strange things that you don't recognize to fit in any gun.
All right. I'll actually head on over. I'll head back to Stonetooth's room.
Raja, what was you going to say?
I honestly, what was the question again?
I don't know. I'm sorry. Do you remember?
I was talking to Lash, I think, and then right at the end of the scene, what was that? Oh, I was trying to say, well, it looks like the trail's gone cold, which is a shame. If we'd showed up here a day earlier, maybe we could have caught the tracks, but it looks like the wind has kind of distorted it. So this is a dead end. We'll have to interview the people here and ask for clues that way, and maybe get that list of hideouts and abandoned buildings. Maybe we could do like you said, just start checking any local areas where people might be hiding out.
Yeah, let's go get the list, and I can get my arrows. And I'm gonna start heading in.
Yeah, so we'll just head back inside because tracking the footprints isn't going to work. But on the way in, I want to stop and look and see if there's like a bird's nest or any or like I don't know. Are there any animals that look like they've taken up residence in the area? So I can do my ranger BS and go see if I can get info that way.
Give me just a nature check, just to give me a random roll. Nope. There doesn't appear to be any settled local wildlife, at least not in the immediate vicinity.
I was really hoping there'd be like an owl that lives on the roof. I could just go bug it. Go bug it for info.
In an alternate reality, there is.
In one of the many alternate thousands of universes out there. All right, yeah. I'll just look around and go, well, nope. And head back inside because there's no clues out here, apparently.
Yeah. Walter / Arden, up to anything in particular up there?
I'm probably taking a little bit of a nap, but
I'm a little sleepy.
the second they come back in, Arden or Walter's got a plan. So
Okay. Sleeping.
whenever they come back in,
Glancing about. If he's got any interesting books to read, I'll read them. Just peruse.
Give me a perception check. Or an investigation check, I guess.
Yeah.
That's perception's probably better for you.
Yeah, my perception's better. Just trying to get rid of our D1000 roll.
You look around, and glancing at the covers of each of the books that you pick up, there's quite a few, but they're scattered. There's no like dedicated bookshelf, but somebody reads casually, and moving not just around the bedroom, but taking a glance around some of the other areas. You find a couple of books on a table. Just look at the cover. There's just no picture on it. Rubbish. Look for another book. You see a couple more piled up, and you just probably give up looking around. I mean, you pretty much fail to see them. You fail to see any books of use for yourself that look interesting or contain the answer to the murderer.
I wasn't looking for that, probably. It's a day off.
fucking day off, man.
All of the books are boring.
Only Arden.
Flash
Sorry.
and Raja, you open the door, head back inside, and see Carlias grab 2 boxes off of the barmaid, who then walks away from him. He looks quizzically at one, puts it in his satchel, and puts the other one in as well. Behind him, you spot a halfling who's kind of watching him look at these boxes, and as he quizzically looks at the strange-looking bullets, the halfling kind of shakes his head, stifles back a chuckle from behind Carlias' back, and then Carlias heads into the hallway where Stonetooth was. And I think that's where we'll go to our break for the evening.
Oh, kidding. We'll
And
be
upon
right
our
back.
return, maybe, just maybe, you lot will solve a murder.
Probably not.
Probably.
We're right back, 3 to 5. Thanks, everyone, for watching.
Yo, what up? It's your boy, Connor Cronus, coming at you live on Twitch every night. Single player games.
Not
on
every night.
Every night, promise. Mate. All night, 12-hour streams every day. Welcome back. Walter, you are asleep, napping, lightly asleep. Arden, you are wandering around. Carlias, you head towards Stonetooth's office, and Raja and Lash, what do you want to do? You see him. You're inside. A couple of people sitting around. Barmaid seems to be like opening the bar.
Yeah, I'll just walk and catch up with Carlias.
If I
just-
saw her hand the bullets over, which it seems like we walked in at that moment.
Yeah.
I'll go flag her down and say, "Oh, you good? You got Carlias's bullets. Can I get some arrows?"
Oh, hello.
Hi.
She kind of peers down for a moment and says, "Oh, Halfling. Sorry. You're very cute. I thought you was a little girl. All right. Arrows, is it?"
Yeah.
She looks up. 3 toes. From behind you, there's that elven-looking gentleman with the hat, and he peers out from under it. She wants arrows. Is that all right? He nods, and she says, "All right, hold on. Do they come in different types of arrows? Because I had some trouble trying to work out bullets."
Well, bolts are short, but they look like arrows, and arrows are about this long. And I'll just show her like they're this long.
All right, how many is it? Like 3 or?
Oh, like 15.
All right. I think I can count to 15. And she heads off towards the like storeroom thing. You see her open it and close it behind her. A little while later, you hear 1, 2, 3.
Make
you,
it 20.
Yeah. Let's see if you can count to 20.
And then you go, oh no, wait, I only need 10. 1.
The sound of some cluttered moving around inside the room, and then she comes out just holding arrows like a bundle of sticks, and she kind of heads over to you and just they fall onto the nearest table and just kind of splay out. They don't come in like a box or nothing. They came in like these things, but I didn't think you'd need one because you
Well,
got
no,
one.
I have a quiver. Yeah, I'll just. Thanks.
There are 26.
Thank you very much.
It's all right. Do you want a drink?
Yeah, can I have an ale, please?
Shit kicker.
Is there another kind?
Here it is, yeah. It's got normal ale, mead.
Normal ale, please.
All right. She heads around the bar. Much cleaner looking glasses. A couple of different kegs on tap. She pours out a sort of clearer looking liquid than Shit Kicker, even Shit Kicker Light, which is basically black Guinness looking. And she turns around and pushes it over to you. Pretty early to be drinking, innit? We're not even really supposed to be open, but your friend's a Stonetooth, innit?
Yeah, new friends. Hair of the dog, you know? And I'm just gonna take some sips.
Out drinking last night.
A little bit.
You look rough.
Oh. Thanks.
Yeah. You don't look comfortable for some reason.
Yeah, I'm not. See, this body is... Anyway, do you like your job?
Yeah, it's all right. I get lots of tips. Laura, pull this down. More money I make usually.
Oh. And I'm just gonna be like looking down at my own.
You pull it down.
No. But I'll just be kind of. Okay.
She looks at you sadly, as if, you know, like those beautiful busty women do. Look down on people, but they don't realize they're doing it. She's doing that. She carries on sort of cleaning the bar and things. Carlias, Raja, heading towards Stonetooth's office. Give it a knock, or you just strutting in.
Before we even get there, I'm just gonna like catch up with Carlias and say, "The trail outside is cold. There's no tracks to be followed, and like no clues to go on."
Don't suppose it seemed like someone of a large stature?
Yeah. Now that you mention it, there was like a heavy boot print on the wall. Probably looking for a large fellow. Why?
Well, the gentleman over there who gave me the bullets He said he saw a man, tall, dark robe, walking
Surely
around
he
the.
Surely
around
he
the
must
house a
have
couple
seen
times.
some features other than just tall and dark robed. That's not much to go on.
I mean, he's seems like a drunkard, plus smoking a lot of weed.
The man in the black robe or the halfling out there?
The halfling.
Wonder if he knows anything else.
I don't know if you're going to get any more out of him, but
I could make him talk, but we'd have to leave the city limits for me to put the hex on him.
I don't think we can do that now, can we?
You could lure him out of the city limits and then make him talk. I'll try
Well,
talk.
He offered me a job for a bounty. Said an old man wants a boy killed.
Yeah, wonder what the boy did.
It's only a boy. Can't imagine he's done anything. But I was gonna go speak to Stonetooth, see if he knows anything, and also if he can get me a name on the old guy.
All right, let's talk to him, see if he knows anything about this man in the black robe.
We'll knock on.
There's a moment, and then, who is it?
You said mom's the word.
Right, in you come then. As you open the door, the two gentlemen have returned that stand sort of just to attention either side of the desk, and Stonetooth is sitting with a set of jewels on the table in front of him. Assorted jewels, some diamonds, some rubies. He's got like a strange looking monocled eyeglass thing, and he's picking up each jewel and turning them over in his hand and putting them back down.
They're saying the stream's offline, but it's fine.
There was
yeah,
issues.
it's fine to me.
2000 network error.
There were issues
Oh,
yesterday.
so that's
with this-
Twitch.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
like black screen video not loading, stuff like that.
Yep.
It
Hold on.
blinked for me, but
We're
it's still
good?
going.
Okay.
It loaded fine for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still live with it.
All right. Sorry.
I don't know what you missed, but they walked into Stonetooth's office. Did it actually end the stream? Is it 2 parts?
No, you should be fine. You should be fine.
God for that. I fucking hate that. Splicing it together for the VOD afterwards. Stonetooth says, go on then, what you got?
Apparently it's, halfling fella outside. He said he saw someone tall, wearing a dark robe.
Young
So-
Crummel.
Yeah.
Young Crummel sees a lot of things.
He said he saw him walking around the vicinity a couple of times.
Hmm.
An hour
Well-
before she died.
I don't think he's just telling tall tales either. I went to investigate it outside. There were heavy boot tracks, like a large man climbed the wall.
Big bastard, was it?
Yes.
Bigger they are, harder they fall. Be easier to spot, wouldn't he?
One would hope.
Potentially.
Also, they left via the north side, and we didn't see any specific tracks that we could follow, but we're already fairly far into the north edge of town. There can't be too many areas north of here for them to go hide, and it seems unlikely that they would head deeper into town where they'd be getting spotted. Do you know if there's any abandoned buildings or common thieves' hideouts on the north end of town?
Not too many on North End. It's all the nobles, all the rich lot.
Not too many,
Unless they
but
skipped town, could have run up the tracks.
well, if you say not too many, that means if there's even only one or two, it shouldn't be hard to check them all.
Probably best off asking one of my boys. They're going to know that kind of thing a little better than me. I don't rub elbows with that lot.
Who should we talk to?
I'd say Bones. Go and speak to the dwarf.
Where would I find him?
He'll be out there waiting. He sits there waiting for people to come and pick up bounties. They all do.
All right.
That's it. You got the
That's all
word
we've
of a
got to go on so far.
the word of a drugged up halfling. Saw a big boy in a robe.
That's all for
Well-
now, but
Well,
Suppose it rules out you, doesn't it? He looks at the dwarf, Carlias.
well, there's more to it than just that. We know they entered through the window via grappling hook, and we know it was a large fellow. He left a large boot print on your north wall, and he left a mark on your windowsill with the iron of the grappling hook hit. We are making progress. Just give us time, and I'll start walking out.
Right, well, good luck.
I guess as Raj is about to leave, I'll just kind of lean over. Yeah, I don't suppose you know any of the clients that the halfling outside works for, or takes orders
Clients?
from.
We take money from whoever's got money to give. Client could be anyone.
You said that was an old man.
Old man? Could
Yes.
be me.
Old man asking for a boy to be killed.
Boys get killed every day, don't they? Pestilence, plague. What's a bullet? You gonna take the job?
I wanted to know who the old man was before I did.
Sounds like you need to speak to young Crummel. He's got the bounty.
I already did, and he doesn't want to give that info.
Ain't in the business of giving out information for free. Not usually. Not unless someone's killed my wife.
I can give you 5 gold.
He looks around. There's gold everywhere across the
Oh.
desk. There's these ridiculous gems that are worth hundreds of gold, no doubt. Ain't bribing me, boy. Get to work.
It's not a bribe. I just want information.
Information costs more than 5 gold.
Seems around these parts it's more expensive.
Information like that, you're damn right. We run a business. Can't just be giving away names.
How about, instead of a pouch of gold, if we find whoever killed your wife, tell me that name.
Sacrificing
obviously
your old
the-
gold, is it?
The others will want their gold. I'll just sacrifice mine.
Considers it a moment. Fine.
I put my hand out for a shake. Sounds like a deal.
Mad as Atta you are. Mad as Atta. Giving up gold for a name.
Yeah, well, gold doesn't make the world run around.
Huh. Depends who you are, boy.
We'll see. And I'm gonna leave.
Lash, you do anything mad outside?
No, I would have finished my ale. And then just waited to see if we were taken off. It's pretty early still, I assume, right? Like it's before noon. Yeah,
The-
so
Barmaid is just sitting there mindlessly meandering at you like a hairdresser does or something. Just like, I ain't been on holiday in a while. I was thinking of maybe going Sin River if someone would give me the time off. But it's hard to get, you know. Not that many girls around town that look like me.
what do you mean that look like you?
Well, most of them are dwarfs. Big nose, not big, you know what?
Oh, well, what's wrong with having a big nose? And I kind of absently, like, I went to reach for my bill, but it wasn't there.
Well, nothing. It's just that I got hired on account of 2 things, really.
Oh, what 2 things?
Well, I can't count.
Oh,
It weren't my
Oh.
brain.
what? Not your brain.
Who did your nails? They look terrible.
Oh, did them? What do you mean?
Why is your fingers all scuffed like they got blisters on them?
Oh, well, I do a lot of climbing.
Climbing? Climbing what?
Well, whatever needs climbing. Rocks,
You lot are really strange.
buildings.
He does a lot of climbing. She points at the dwarf-looking fellow in the corner, by far the nastiest-looking one in the room.
Why does he do a lot of climbing?
Why'd you do a lot of climbing, Bones? And the dwarf just gruffly. Climbing for killing. Climbing for killing, he says.
Oh,
I'd rather serve drinks to this lot while they're drunk, lower my shirt a little bit, get a bit of gold and kill someone. Not really my thing.
yeah, then maybe you'd better not go to Sin River after all.
Probably break a nail.
Definitely you would break a nail there.
Do you like my nails? And she shows you her nails. They're really good.
They're good. Oh, they're very clean.
Yeah, I keep them clean.
They look polished.
Yeah, I got some polish off Stonetooth. He got it sent in from the city.
Wow. And you see me looking down at my own fingers, kind of feeling a little sad about them now.
Carlias and Raja appear behind you. Enter the room. All right, boys, want a drink?
Those are some spectacular nails you've got.
Thank you.
Where'd you get them done? Locally?
I
Or
do
do
them
it
myself.
yourself? You do them yourself. That's very talented.
I ain't got much time off. Stonetooth likes to keep me at the bar, you know.
Well, can't have your talents going to waste.
Yeah.
I saw you fetching a box of bullets for my friend here. I don't suppose you have any more.
She looks over again at the halfling. Crummel, he wants bullets. He says no.
Okay.
I can share.
Well, it's worth a
That's
shot. I don't think what's his face ever technically told me I could come get ammo, so I don't think I'm going to push the issue. He's like, it's worth a shot. Who is Bones? Looking for the
Bones.
dwarf named Bones.
She there's only one dwarf in here, but she nods over. Again, it's in the darkened corner of the room. There's a dwarf sitting there with a thin robe over his head. Sitting in front of him is a set of knives on the table, and he's got a whetstone out, and he's just working at one of them. And she just kind of nods over. He's over there, but I don't know. Most people don't just walk over and talk to him, you know?
Okay, and I just walk over and talk to him. Hey! Just
He sees you approaching and pulls one of his knives closer to him and rests a hand on top of it and just...
Is Carlias walking up with me or no?
Probably a few feet behind.
Yeah. I'll just walk over to him. You've heard what happened to, I guess I'll start by introducing himself and say, you're Bones, huh?
Maybe not.
Maybe. Well, I maybe or maybe not am Raja, from Sin River. You've heard what happened to Stonetooth's old lady, right?
Maybe not.
Well, Stonetooth may or may not have asked us to look into it and find out who did it. And he says you're pretty familiar with the lay of the land here. So would you maybe or maybe not be able to tell me, on the north end of town, where people would probably be hiding out?
Wouldn't do no good hiding on the north end of town. That's what I say. In amongst all those prying windows, all those busybody wives. No, if I was gonna hide out, I'd hide somewhere else, that's for sure.
Well, say you had to stash a bag of jewels and keep it hidden until a train showed up. Where would you go?
I'd stash 'em down my pants and walk out. That way, you lot don't find me.
You walk out of town through the desert.
You're looking for someone on a train, and I'm walking out of town.
He picks up a knife and says,
Any more questions?
Well, suppose this individual weren't as either brave or foolhardy as you, or perhaps they feared the desert and they were going to wait for the train.
Suppose you buy me a drink. Suppose you sit down. And suppose you got a gold piece on you. Well then suppose I might start speaking.
I'll wave over the barmaid.
yeah,
And just, say whatever he wants and just an ale for me.
I'll have your finest bottle of whiskey.
she says, are you sure? Are you sure?
He says I can have whatever I want.
All right. And just an ale for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, don't cut his face.
No promises.
And the barmaid heads off. The dwarf, are you there as well, Lash?
I'm probably... How far away was Bones from my table?
The furthest possible corner from where you are.
Okay, I'm waiting for the barmaid to come back, and I'll flag her down too.
As she's heading back over, she says, "Oh my God, we got a big spender over there, haven't we? I didn't realize you lot was from money. You don't look it."
How much is he spending?
Are you with Lash?
Oh, I'm as the barmaid is walking past me.
She's at the bar end.
No, yeah, no, never mind.
She pours another ale and reaches under the bar and pulls out a very fine-looking bottle and turns it over. Says, "Well, normally this is just reserved for Stonetooth, but I guess paying customers is paying customer, isn't it?" And she trots on past, and as
I think realistically, Roger should be picking up on how expensive this thing is, but I think it's funnier that he doesn't notice.
the dwarf, with a big smile on his face now, looks up towards you, Carlos, and says,
How about you? Take a seat. Got some questions.
Yeah, maybe I'll see what Roger here has to say first.
Gotta have quick hands to be a gunslinger.
That you do.
Good with a knife.
Not my preferred.
he throws a knife at you. Give me a dex saving throw.
Can I also make a dex save? Because I immediately anticipated that something was gonna happen. Can I like attempt to catch it myself as well? Or see who like rolls higher on the dex save?
The dex save is just to avoid it.
Okay. Can I try to catch it with like a sleight of hand or something?
No.
No, okay.
It would be a reaction, really, wouldn't it? You don't really have a reaction that lets you do it. So, Carlisle's giving me a dex save. He's not aiming for you, specifically. But he's definitely testing your reflexes. He spins it at you, and where your hand was resting on the table, you whip it out of the way very quickly, and it just sits in the table.
Quick reflexes. Good.
And he pulls the thing out. Looking around the table, you notice there's a couple of notches in this table. Like he's done it a few times. And he leans back.
Just want to know whether you boys are quick or you ain't quick. Gotta test a man's mettle. You're gonna sit and drink with a man, you gotta test a man's mettle.
Well, why'd you want to know if we have quick hands?
Look at your boy. All shining. 2 guns. He's got one. He's all looking all prim and proper. Coming in here, asking questions left from right, speaking to old young Crummel over there. Crazy bastard.
Crummel gives him the finger.
Now, you called me on a good day. What do you want?
I look over to Roger, see if he's going to say anything first.
We want the one who stuck up Stonetooth's wife.
Don't we all?
I don't suppose you saw anything strange happening around? Anyone?
Didn't see nothing. Wasn't here.
What's his face? The crazy halfling over there says he saw someone that night. Heavy set fellow wearing a dark robe. Do you know anyone particularly large stature who might have a thing against Stonetooth?
Son of a bitch, probably covering his own tracks. Sending you on a wild goose chase, telling you it's a big boy when it was a little one.
Nuh-uh. No, not true. I found boot prints outside, heavy ones. It's a big fella.
Shoddy work.
Also means it wasn't you. Couldn't have been a dwarf. So you're clear.
Unless I was trying to cover my tracks too, huh? Leave a nice big fat boot print on the side of the building.
I suppose it could have been someone particularly clever, but it doesn't look that way. It looks like it was an accident. They slipped up while they were climbing.
The barmaid appears and slides the ale in front of you and puts down a very nice looking bottle at the center of the table, and the very clear but golden liquid inside sloshes around the cork in the top. Deep. She pushes it over and he grabs it.
Ah. Well, cheers. Thank you very much.
Puts it down behind him.
I'll
I'm gonna lean over to write it. How much did that bottle cost?
I don't want to know. I'll just say cheers and chug some ale, and then I'm gonna fish around in my bag and pull out one of those. Do I still actually have those? I feel like I did this before, but now I can't remember. I still have it written on my inventory sheet. I want to pull out one of the shiny gold chalices that we took from the casino in Sin River, like near at the beginning of the campaign. I'll pull it out. I'll pull one of those shiny gold chalices out and slide that towards him and say, "And here you go, something fancy to drink it out of next time."
Buttering me up. I like it.
So while you're relaxing to the taste of that nice whiskey and washing it down in a nice polished gold chalice, think deep into that brain of yours and just tell me where I should look. There's not that many hiding places. This is a small town.
Already know. Easy. Solved.
Who?
Ritzel Solden.
I'm gonna have to give a little bit more information on that one.
Where can I find him, and what does he look like, other than, being a big fella?
Posh fucker. One of the Chancellor's Guard. Having an affair with Abigaila. Stonetooth won't hear word of it. Not from me. Probably not from you. Good luck telling him. Ha! Stuck the dick, then he stuck the dagger.
How do you know?
Always seeing him about town. Some of us can hide pretty well if we want. Seen him together on little private walks.
Ever seen him wear a dark robe?
Huh. Get a dark robe wherever you want, boy. You got dark work? Put on a dark robe.
And he shuffles at his a little bit.
Right. Where do we find him?
Probably up the manor. On duty. Off duty. One of them posh houses. The red bricks.
And he's not going to be one to try and skip out on town, is he?
Don't think he can. Not unless he wants to be court-martialed by that stuck-up fucker.
So why would he take anything from upstairs?
What they take.
Bag of jewels is missing too. It wasn't just a murder.
Give me insight checks.
What is it with all the sevens tonight?
Yeah.
What's
Normally
up
when
with-
you roll 4 7s in a row, I let you do ultimate massive to emerald weapon, but not today.
Well, I haven't rolled anything higher than a 5 tonight, so I'm just sucking it up.
The dwarf's eyebrows raise. I'd say you wouldn't be able to discern what that means. He says,
Jules. Don't know what he wants with him. Posh boy, posh family.
I wonder if he's going to try and skip out, though. Maybe he wants to change up his life or something.
If he's from some highborn family here, he's not just gonna want to up and leave. He's got too much connected to it. And if he's on duty as a guard, it's gonna be hard for us to catch him. But maybe after hours, we catch him in the right place with his
I don't
pants down.
suppose he goes to any of the taverns.
Got their own drinks. The posh lot. Sit inside the manor. Got a ballroom.
Brad, can I hear this from the however many tables over I am?
give me a perception check. It's pretty quiet. There's really not much going on. The background music that we've got playing is almost definitely not what you can hear. I'd say you can pick up parts of it relatively easy. Every now and then, probably the barmaid next to you is like rattling something or moving fast things and covering up portions, but you can get the gist and the majority of what they're saying, yeah.
So when I hear the part about the jewels were taken and they were kind of pondering that, I'll wander over and say, well, see, sometimes you take things to make it look like that's what your motive was. So,
Well, hey there, little pretty lady.
oh. Hi.
Our
You want to
pretty lady.
see Bones Bone? Come sit on my lap.
He's
I'm not
shifts his chair out.
sitting on your lap.
Our
See your
pretty
friend?
lady here does dark work too. Second story work, if you will.
Quick fingers.
The
I
quickest.
reach for my rapier at that point and just keep my hand on the hilt. Quick enough.
Not gonna throw a dagger at a lady.
You're not a lady.
You wanna throw a dagger at me?
Well, if you ask me to sit in your lap again, I might.
Got it. Loud and clear.
And I'll go ahead and have a seat.
Wait, what do you mean by he's not a lady?
Well, it was a dagger joke. Never mind.
She got bigger balls and you got brains, boy.
Listen, it's been a long day, alright? Some things go over, some things don't.
Anyway, there's a bag of gold in this for us. And I don't know why you're just telling us. When you could have maybe had the bag of gold. What's your motivation here, Bones?
Didn't get offered a bag of gold from Stonetooth.
I'm just kind of staring at the ridiculously expensive whiskey as she says that now.
Yeah. He says,
Didn't know there was gold in it. Didn't know Stonetooth was looking into it.
Yeah, don't think he is. And I'm just gonna, like, at this point, half giving Lash a little bit of a death eye.
he
Just
gives,
like,
he gives you a wink across the table.
No, I don't suppose he is.
I suppose he just wanted to hire someone from out of town. After all, he had no way of knowing who did it here. But
Well,
now
there's two options. Crummel, Solden.
From behind you, young Crummel, the halfling.
Fuck you. Fucking ball.
He,
seems to be a little racist against dwarves, huh?
Good reason too. Kicked him around this place once or twice.
Good job. The guy's scared shitless of trying to go against me in a duel.
Guy doesn't know up or down no more. Been a long time since he's pulled that gun.
Really? Probably because of all the weed he smokes.
Devil's grass. Says he can see the future.
slows you down.
Slows you down. Unless you see the future. Then don't matter how slow you're going, does it?
You don't see the future on that stuff. You see whatever your brain wants you to see.
I mean, considering the things that we've seen the past few weeks, I wouldn't be surprised if there may be something that does that.
I'm sure there is, but I'm also sure it's not a common desert plant.
I mean, we stumbled upon a book in the middle of nowhere.
If that stuff grows everywhere. If there were a common desert plant that let you see the future, then we'd be an entire race of prophets by now.
You know, now that you say that, I can already tell we're probably going to come across a group of prophets.
You're probably right. And I'll just look up at Bones and say, thanks for the info. Enjoy the drink. We're going to go nail this. We're going to go nail this fool to the wall. And I'll stand up.
Yep.
I'm gonna fall in step with Raja here. I definitely want to talk to him about what this Bones guy has been saying.
I'll
You
just
feel Bones' eyes boring into your backside.
You just see Carlisle just like, hey,
You know harm in looking.
yeah, you better not be thinking.
Huh? Me? Grabby hands? I don't think so.
we'll just leave the two dwarves in the corner to probably punch each other in the faces. And be like, all right, good talking to you. Just put punch in the face. And then I'll say, well, we need to go talk to Stonetooth one more time.
Yeah, we do. I don't know about this, Raja, because you remember Stonetooth warned us not to point the finger at the wrong person, and Bones said this guy was wealthy.
Yeah. No, the other problem is that if he's near the Chancellor, we can't very well go poking around there if we're wanted ourselves.
No. I mean, I can.
True. No one knows your face. Maybe
He's the
Arden
type
can make
to
a
brag.
disguise.
Or if he's not the type to brag, maybe I can sneak in. Maybe I can sneak in and see if he's got the jewels.
Actually, I wonder if Walter. Walter only joined us fairly recently. Maybe he's not on the hot list yet. Maybe they won't know who he is.
Coincidentally,
good at
I'm
disguising
headed
himself.
downstairs.
You're downstairs now.
I'm on my way. I wanted to head down for a
I mean,
bit.
you could just, like, as they say, Walter probably he just walks around the corner.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe.
hi.
Oh, how convenient. We have a lead.
Yeah, I have an idea.
How did your
about-
investigation of the room go? I know you've been hard at work for the past hour.
I napped. It was a long night.
I was being sarcastic, you lazy sloth.
I
Wake
was-
up.
It was a long night. I have an idea though.
What's that?
What if those guys that were following us last night are the ones that killed her? And they weren't
That would
watching
be
us, they were just watching her.
That would be, first off, a mightily convenient coincidence. And secondly, we didn't really get a good look at them.
Yeah, I mean, that was what I came up with in between the nap. What's your lead?
What was the guy's name again, Brad? You pronounced.
Hey, I'll write it down here. No worries.
What's up?
I'll write it down for you. Jitzel Solden is the name that he gave you.
Well, I thought it started with an R. All right. Well, I was completely off.
Let's see. No.
No, okay. A fellow by the name of Solden. Apparently, he's from rich blood, noble family in town. Problem is, he works for the Chancellor, so it's going to be hard for us to get close around there without getting spotted. I was thinking, you're better at talking your way into places than I am. Maybe we have Arden disguise you, and you can go poke around.
Yeah, that's
Wake up,
probably
Walter,
not a good
come on.
idea at
Wake
all.
up! And I'm gonna shake his.
That's just no. That's I'm awake. That's just not a good idea.
Well, how come?
I'm gonna like my skinny gangly self, and if I have no magic, and
But-
if I get caught, then I can't get out, and then you've got to come and save me.
Well, I mean,
What?
So what else is new?
We have a halfling. It's not fair, but we have a halfling.
I have a name.
Lash. Still, we have a lash.
L. We have an L.
We have
There's
a
no lash
L.
right now.
That's right.
It's all right. We have an L.
All right. We got to figure out how we're going to get to this guy without getting spotted.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm really useless right now. I can shoot a crossbow, but
All right. I'm going to talk to Stonetooth one last time. And I'm going to head towards his office and kind of I guess they can come too. I guess it doesn't matter. I'm just going to walk over to Stonetooth's office one more time and rap on the door.
Yeah, he invites you in and sends out his men, and you guys tumble in. Arden, what are you doing?
I was just typing into chat as I was laughing. It's like, sorry, I'm really useless right now. And I'm just saying, as Arden just dicks around somewhere doing nothing, literally being useless.
Well, Walter is mechanically useless.
I am mechanically. Yeah,
He's a
this is
caster in,
probably
like an anti-magic town.
the first time Walter's ever been this vulnerable, man.
You're just RP useless.
Yeah,
Yes, I guess.
I feel like if Arden sees him soon, and if he's like really sad, I'm just gonna ask, like, do you want me to cast a spell to make you feel better? Want me to cure wounds you? No, Arden's just if he'll eventually follow Walter out. I assume he was still probably looking around while Walter left the room after his nap. I'm still looking around. I'll eventually wander out and try and find where everybody is.
Yeah, you
it's-
probably
he's
see them all piling in.
yeah, he's got a plan, but it's not useful for today. So
Okay.
because it's his day off.
Yeah, of course. The
You're gonna use that detect item spell or whatever you use to track Vasilios, right?
I'm just gonna ask God tomorrow. So
No, that too.
divination.
the bunch of you pile into Stonetooth's office once again, and once the door closes behind.
Right, what is it? Solved it, have you?
Mostly. All the signs point to the same direction. All the witnesses and people that we've interviewed, which, granted, hasn't been many, but... Do you know a fellow by the name of Solden?
Never heard of him.
Jitzel Solden?
Curt little blonde fucker. Yeah. Yeah, I do know him.
Is he a big fellow?
Not really. About your size, maybe? A little skinnier?
Well, we need to go talk to him. But the problem is, you said we're wanted. When we left Shallow Scar, that wasn't the case, so something must have changed between then and now. Did someone put a price on our heads?
One of the Chancellors own him. You'll have to head up to the manor if you're going to find him. If you lot are heading up to that manor, waltzing straight up to the front of it, I've no doubt they'll put swords to your throats.
Why?
Right. Well,
this is kind of important for us to know at this point, because we were able to walk in and out of Shallow Scar without a problem. Who put the price on our heads?
the Emperor himself, the Chancellor, several high-ranking officials are aware of the enormous threat that you pose to the crown and apparently to our quaint civilization here. You and a bird, another set of people in black.
I'm just kind of look at Lash and Walter and say, I'm getting really sick of these omniscient people knowing everything we do, even when we're out in the desert. All right. Well, is there this Jitzel fella? Do you know where he goes at night? Anytime he's ever not near the Chancellor's place, somewhere we could catch him, talk to him, or maybe drag him into the desert and beat the truth out of him?
I've only ever met the boy once. Popped in with a message from the Chancellor himself. Some drivel about a ball. Don't know where he goes, don't know nothing about him. Maybe my boys will know. You should speak to old Bones. He's usually got the lowdown on the nobles.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to go talk to him because so far seems like he's the best lead. He may or may not be the one who did it, but he certainly knows something.
I'd beware. Gotta be careful. They're armed to the teeth. Knights, trained. Lots of them. Handful from the watch. You'd be overwhelmed quick, sharp.
Is there any way to cast magic here?
Depends if you got that writ that you promised you got.
I mean, any other way.
He probably can.
Looks at Arden.
There's no get around. You guys haven't found any way to get around it?
To be honest, that thing helps me out a lot more than does me harm.
Okay.
As far as I know, it's been around 1,000 years. No one's worked out where it is, what it does, or a way around it.
Well, it's making me really useless right now.
Well, you'll be happy at the next part then. Because I want to bring this guy outside town anyway. All right, we'll go see if we can find a way to catch this guy away from his friends.
One under King's Own. Means he'd be up at the manor. Glistening armor. Skinny fucker. Short blonde hair. Pretty boy.
Okay. This might be a... What if we seduce him?
We'll send in Carlias.
What?
What?
Nothing.
I mean, what if we seduce him?
With
Oh.
how?
We I don't know how, but we have to get him out of the city, right? So we take him on a date, one dinner, and then we lure him out.
Oh,
So honestly,
the garden could disguise one of us.
it's honestly not the worst idea. I know a barmaid with wonderful fingernails. Wonder maybe she could do it. All right, we'll leave. We'll leave the office before we say anything dumb in front of Stonetooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you're like standing up and leaving, he says, "One last thing. If you think it is this boy, leave it to me. Don't slit his throat. You'll just make more mess than I need.
All right.
I wouldn't mind the pleasure myself anyway."
All right, fair enough.
Good luck. He kind of sits back in his chair, a contemplative look on his face, not necessarily very emotional over the situation. You guys head out. The two guardsmen head back in, and the door closes behind you. Are you heading out of the bar?
I think we're probably gonna hit up Bones again to see about
Yeah,
if that guy
that
ever
was,
leaves.
Okay.
from dinner.
Yeah, he's
Before
still sat there. He's looking over these knives. Quite nice looking knives.
Before they get over to me and Bones, I'd imagine whilst they're talking to Stonetooth, I'm like, so how quick
you
are your
weren't in
hands?
there?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
That's why my reaction to when Carlite said saying Carlisle, because I couldn't say anything.
Okay.
Yeah, well, no, we left him in the corner doing dwarf things.
Punching
Yeah,
each
sorry.
other
They're
and
just
shit.
they're angrily dwarfing and bearding at each other.
Dwarfing.
It's cool.
They're
Bones,
Just
they're
called a
dwarfing and
staring
bearding.
competition.
Bones goes back to shining his nice looking, stylish knives that he's got laid out in front of him. Seems to just be cleaning them, working on them.
So how quick are your hands?
Quick enough.
You ever played an old-fashioned five-finger fillet?
Holds up his hands and they're just fucked. Loads. They're just scarred to shit.
Played, won, lost.
Seems many times.
Man with knives like this. Plenty of games.
Well, I was just curious if you saw me with Weevil outside. You saw how fast my hands are.
Ain't too many didn't.
Pardon?
Ain't too many didn't see that.
Yeah. Surprised no one else was stirring around. Anyway. Put a bet on the table. 5 gold. See how quick you can go. Try not to cut a finger.
He turns around and then picks up the bottle of whiskey and then the silver chalice and then gets a knife and starts working at the cork, pops it, pours himself a bit, thumbs the cork off and pushes it back into the top.
$5 gold.
5 gold on the table.
He looks at his knives.
You know how much these cost?
Tell me.
Each one, 150 gold pieces, weighted perfectly.
Can I insight?
Stylish. Imported.
You can give me an investigation check. Oh no, you're just seeing if he's lying. Yeah, okay, give me an insight check. He's another one. Everyone here is hard to read. They're used to lying to each other. They're used to this kind of shit. You'd guess that he's probably lying, yeah.
I mean, sure you find many around here.
Won't find many of these. Each one imported from a different continent.
Tell me, how many continents are there?
Oh. 1, 2,
5.
There is not. There is. Let me find out.
Is there like 17 on that world
There's
map
a
you
lot,
showed me?
There's a lot more than, yeah.
It's like a
1,
whole planet
2,
of
3,
islands.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 like known, mapped.
And there's only 5.
Well, don't claim to know where they are. Just claim to know that I paid a lot of money to get these in. A lot more money than 5 gold to be fucking around with games with you, boy.
Well, if your hands are quick enough, you're not gonna ruin
My
them all.
hands are quick enough, boy. You want to find out, you find out a man's way.
What's that?
Fight to the death. Me and you.
Why does everything always have to be to the death?
People who get up in people's faces with a knife, that's a real killer. Shooting guns out of friends' hands. Pfft. Little girl's game.
Hey, if Weevil shot me, wouldn't be a gun out of my hand. Probably would have hit me somewhere. His hands were
Maybe.
shaking around like a crazy train.
Yeah. Maybe he's done a hard day's work. That's why his hands hurt.
You say hard day's work, I know that boy's been smoking around.
Don't know much about him. He's a new boy.
Yeah. Well, if you see him again, make sure you throw a dagger at his foot. Try not to hit him, though.
That is, unless it gives me a big bag of gold to throw a dagger at your neck.
I can't imagine he'd have that much gold in the first place.
More than like.
Tell you what, I'll let you use one of my daggers.
I'll use it to kill you.
And here I was thinking we dwarves would get along.
Maybe we would, maybe we wouldn't. All depends on how much gold's in your pocket and how quick your hands really are.
Part of me is thinking of like a really interesting way to show how quick the hand is without any kind of like hostile action. And the only thing that came to mind was like one of the cards that Carlias has. Just like flick it Twisted Fate style.
Do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I guess he's gonna try and do that.
Where are you flicking it?
Is there any like wooden pillar behind him where he's sitting, or?
Yeah, I'd say there would be. The whole thing is like a big old wooden, old style saloon.
I'll try and skim it past and make it like indent into the wood.
Okay. Just give me a sleight of hand.
Would I have advantage because I know how to use the cards?
No.
No, still.
You know how to play the cards. You
Rolls.
you just throw a card. It's like not impressive necessarily. You just pick up a card and flick it. It doesn't like just do that thing where it just goes horribly in front of you. It flicks like a little way and then just lands kind of beyond where the guy is, and he just follows it down.
You dropped a card.
That'll show you. Now throw a knife at his face.
No, it's been a
Distraction card.
You know, it's been a while since I played cards. Try again. Another sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Throw another measly card. It's just embarrassing. You just throw it.
You have nothing to lose. Do another one.
Just floats over and lands in front of the door, and he just looks at you and says,
Just throw the whole deck.
he looks at you and
You know, this sometimes happens. I honestly don't know what happened though, because
I think it's time that you and I part ways.
one more. By the way, you get to keep the 5 gold. We don't talk about this at all. Finally.
You flick a card and it lands in the like in between two wooden slat areas and sits there. He looks at you and looks at the card.
Very impressive. But yeah, madman's games. Now get the fuck off my table.
I'm guessing Raja and the others are gonna come over.
I'm just leaning against the wall next to him, going to be like, "Why are you flicking cards at the wall?"
I feel like they probably came out and witnessed that whole thing.
And I say, how much have you had to drink, Carlias?
Not enough.
Just gonna
No, I'll wave over the
pat him on the
bartender.
shoulder.
Yeah,
Good
she.
job.
All right, you want a drink?
Something that costs 20 gold.
All right. Yeah, I can do that. She heads behind the bar.
Strong.
Pours out a dark liquid from a half-empty bottle and brings it over to you. It's good stuff.
I knock it down.
It's good. It's good whiskey.
The strong stuff.
What do
Right.
you guys do now?
We no longer talk about that. And I walk towards the door.
I'm gonna.
You need
Oh.
to pay if you're going to leave. You got 20 gold.
I flick the gold.
I'm gonna like slink out the back door before she tries to collect from me.
That's some good stuff walking out the door.
Lash. Do you still have your jacket
Oh,
with the feathers?
yeah. And
Yeah.
I'll open up my pack and pull it out. This thing.
Okay. Brad,
Yeah.
would a scroll work here or no?
Give me an investigation check.
Not.
Or a history check. I
Oh.
guess would be fine as well. Just see what you'd know. Maybe Just an int, basically.
Nice.
Yes, it would work, and you would absolutely not be punished for it.
I think we can put it together with this scroll that Raja gave me.
We can fix this. And what I hold up is like thin pieces of hide that the feathers were attached to, and like a bunch of my feathers. We can fix this.
Yeah, Raja, we can. We can. That scroll that you gave me, we can mend this, right? That's what mending is for.
Yeah, but I don't think you can use that in town.
Why not? And we
Because
should totally
the-
be fine. It's only magic that comes from you. It's fine.
Says who?
Well, I don't know. I just kind of figured.
I wouldn't just go about figuring these things.
What? Oh, I mean, okay. Well, all right.
Should probably wait till we're out of town and then do it.
We're never coming back here again. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna like
This
sit
is
down.
pretty weird. And I just really defeatedly start stuffing the.
Yep. Sorry.
feathers.
Sorry to get your hopes up. My bad. My bad.
No, it's okay.
Do you know how to use one of these? I'm gonna hold up my gun. So, do you know how to use this?
Me?
Yeah. Will make you feel better. You can hold on to it.
I mean, yeah. You just point. You just point, right?
I think at this point you just see Carlias turn his head to Walter. and just-
Yeah, I just like slowly holster the weapon
Oh.
and
Sorry.
say, yes.
A
that's-
look of disappointment and just anger comes across,
just
but no words.
this kind of like that expression when you're like holding something incredibly sharp and your kid goes, "Can I see it?" And you're just like, yeah. And I'm just like,
I mean,
putting
okay.
it back in my
Probably
holster.
stick to the crossbow. What?
Yeah, just use the crossbows.
Okay.
Best.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. It's more. When do we leave?
Well, we're not leaving just yet. We have a lead. We need to catch this Jitzel fella, but
Well, I mean, yeah. Is it like today or tomorrow, though?
no, we're doing this tonight.
Oh, thank God.
Well, unless Carlias is really drunk because he was just throwing cards at nothing.
Yeah. He's got to seduce
Speaking
people,
of-
right, Raja?
Oh yeah, Carlias,
Yeah.
we need you to seduce another dude.
At this point, Carlias is like leaning against the doorway, spinning scar shot in his hand, like on his finger, and it's like,
Well, actually,
Wait, another one? You've done this before, Carlisle?
Raj is just now he's cracking up.
Oh, this should be perfect. Okay, so there's the guy. What was his name? Jitzel? Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's the
he's
one.
apparently tall, cute, blonde. They think he did it. Yeah.
Okay, but guys,
you know, this is like Carlisle really wishes he had a hat right now because you wouldn't be able to see his eyes. There's
What's wrong?
anger and fury.
What?
Just-
What's
guys,
so funny?
but don't we know that Jitzel was into Stonetooth's wife? Shouldn't we find out what she looked?
I'm just gonna like Raj's hand just kind of like slides over your face, like just let me have this moment.
So, Carlisle, is that okay or?
Hey, Raja,
Yeah, Raja said you would.
hand him the gun.
I'll just pull
Oh,
out without a question. I just like pull out my revolver and offer the handle to Walter. Here you go.
Walter, I'm going to let you have one of two choices.
Okay.
You can either A, proceed to ask me about this,
Okay.
or B, you cannot. Now, with A, however, we're going to have a little bit of a fancy duel.
So if I win the duel, then you'll. Okay, let's go.
A look of concern just over to Raja.
All right.
Is he serious?
Yeah, beginner's luck, man. You can you never know.
What do we do it here or?
Outside.
Okay.
As Raja walks past, we're going to have to be careful, though. When I had the duel last night, it was in the dark. None of the guards were able to see.
You're the one challenging Walter to a duel. Don't look at me.
I'm like walking through, like waving and like, all right, well, we should. Are we stepping outside or?
Yep.
Well, I just
Holster
want to
the
get out.
gun.
I don't have one.
Raja.
Can I just want to get out of here as.
I have to like unbuckle my pants and like take my belt off and slide the holster off the belt, and then hand it to him, and then put the belt back on.
It's a little big. All right, like this, and then, or do you? How do we just stand here?
No, take your belt off and slide the end of it through the loop on the top of the holster there,
Oh.
and then wrap that bottom part there around your leg.
Okay. Okay. This is really this. It's like imagine it's like riding. Does this thing like ride up into your nuts? And it's just like this is really uncomfortable.
Raj's is like
Ugh.
he wears
How
his
do
like
you-
kind of almost behind him, so it's more concealed as opposed to like
You've
quick
gotta,
draw,
like part,
which might
to the
actually be a
side.
disadvantage here because it's not designed to be drawn quickly. It's designed to hide it.
Okay, what do we do?
All right. Back to back.
Okay, turn around.
Walk 10 feet away.
10 feet?
Raja, what's
10
happening
feet.
here?
I'm really not sure, Lash. It looks like they're about to shoot each other.
10
I
feet
feel like
away.
this is when Arden would walk out.
Stonetooth said we get a bag of gold.
I really
Why-
don't know. Shh. I'm just
Again.
put my hand over her mouth again and just let it happen.
Okay, now what? Can I turn and face you
Alright.
yet?
Are we
So-
betting on this?
I want to say we're 20 feet away from each other
Yeah.
because Carlisle would have walked 10 feet away as well.
Hmm.
Right. Turn around.
I'll take a copper coin out. and
Okay.
say, how about when you hear the coin hit the table?
Deal.
All right. good
Remember, no pulling out early.
And I'll just flick a copper coin up so that it's gonna land on the table with a clink.
On the clink, roll me initiatives, but give me a second because I think I need to give you. I think you can probably no. Just like
Can someone explain to me how and why?
I don't know.
What just happened?
No.
I love this so
the
much.
initiatives.
Okay.
The rules that I think I made up.
15.
The initiative gives the first attempt at a shot.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, Carlias, you get the first attempt at a shot.
It's gonna be a grip for a
Give me
dead shot.
Give me a attack roll with advantage then.
Haven't we already seen what happens when Carlias fights a party spellcaster?
23. Okay, that hits me.
What are you trying to hit?
The gun out of his hand.
Cool. Yeah. You both pull guns out. Although Walter does a pretty good job of whipping it out, he doesn't get caught or do anything to embarrass himself. He doesn't bring it up anywhere near as quickly as Carlias. And just as Walter's squeezing the trigger, there's a as this bullet ricochets off the gun in your hand. There's just an instant shock as the gun is launched out of your hand, and it lands in the sand behind you. Carlias stood at the other end, with the guns.
Okay, all
He
right.
just lifts it up and just blows the smoke away from the barrel. So, seems I'm not doing that.
Okay, so anyways, about you seducing this guy.
I'm not doing that.
Okay,
And
yeah,
I shoot.
fine.
I
All
shoot
right.
in front of his
all right,
foot.
all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Like, it was just a joke. Well, who's gonna do it then?
Well, like I said, we just have to find out what Stonetooth's wife looked like, and then Arden can make one of us look like that. Or he can make himself look like that.
Yeah, but
Can't you, Arden? He's already very pretty. Maybe if he just makes himself pretty like she was pretty.
if he killed her, then wouldn't it be bad if he saw her again?
No, not look just like
Oh,
her.
just like his type.
His type.
His type.
There's a bang from behind you as the saloon doors open, and standing there with her arms on her hips is the barmaid. Oi! You got to pay? She's looking at Lash and then she looks at Raja. Hello? Can't just walk out without paying your tab.
Oh,
sorry.
sorry,
I
you
was.
weren't
I didn't want to miss the excitement. I'm gonna reclaim my gun off the sand and just tuck it into my belt until I get my holster back.
Sorry.
How
and
much
then
do
walk
I owe
back in. Yeah, how much was that whiskey anyway?
4 copper from you, and you owe me 65 gold and 4 copper.
Oh,
Carlisle's just laughing his ass off now. Oh, all right, that was worth it, Joel. That was all worth it.
I'll just pull out 65 and pay it.
Thank
At
you.
least for once, I actually have enough money.
Lucky I didn't make you pay more for trying to walk out on me.
well, we weren't trying to. We just wanted to see.
Look, there's one rule. Don't step outside my bar without paying.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know a guy by the name of Jitzel Solden?
Oh my god, yeah. I very, very much do.
Oh,
Roger, 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 Roger,
excuse me.
Is he
Do you know
okay?
something? Was he asking after me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Rumor is he fancies you, apparently.
No.
he fancies the pants off of you.
Give me deception checks. Beat a 3.
We won't. Oh, never mind.
Oh my god, really?
Absolutely.
But I've been chasing him for so long and he's never even looked at me.
Well,
Really?
I mean, times have changed, and I
What?
think
You know how it is with nobles. They always play hard to get.
They don't really come round here, to be honest. Drop off a
Yeah.
message now and then, heralds and that.
I
Well,
mean, you
it's
can
not-
imagine. You
you-
could imagine too if you had rich parents, they wouldn't want you associating with anyone of like lower social stand. You know how it is.
Yeah, I
It's-
know. I don't want to fucking marry him, all right? I just want
no, you just want to,
a kiss.
Well, he's. Wait, hold on, Roger. Didn't you say something about her nails earlier?
What's
What?
wrong with my nails?
No, I mean,
You saying my nails are shit?
no, I
No,
think you
no, 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 no,
They
no.
were nice. They are.
Yeah, I think
There's gonna be another duel.
What about her lovely nails?
Didn't we hear something about Jitzel saying that he's got the best in here in Boston?
Oh yeah, yeah, we did.
Could you
Very
do
true.
my nails like yours?
I could try.
I love watching the idea that I had get thoroughly unraveled and ruined by these other two. Like completely destroying any chance that I had of like getting the idea for her to go lure this guy out is now turning into a nail salon date.
I mean, sometime.
Well,
Sure.
yeah,
Well,
I guess I can have a go at it.
sure.
Alright,
Well, I
Carlos,
mean, while you're doing that, I think maybe we could make something happen. Maybe we could make something happen after all.
Carlos,
Have you ever been on a blind date?
A blind date, is that like when they offer you money and you just go into the
No,
alleyway?
not like a prostitute. A blind date is when you go to have a night out with someone, but you don't know who the other person is until you get there.
Oh my god, that's like everyone. I don't even know half the people in this town, let alone half the ones that I've kissed.
Well, perfect then, because I think
What?
we're gonna go. Because I have some business with the Chancellor later today. So while we're there, I'm gonna talk to Jitzel. We go way back, and I'll see if I can talk him into a blind date. See if you can have a nice night out. But in return, I need you to do something for me.
All right, I'll do anything you want. He's like the hottest bloke in town.
Yeah, he's okay. So his uncle has a secret recipe for this vodka type drink that I had last time I was at his place. If you could, while you're talking to him, find out that recipe for me, that'd be killer. You don't have to, no promises or anything. But if you get the chance, bring it up in conversation. Maybe ask him about it.
You want me to ask his uncle if he's got a secret recipe?
No. Ask Jitzel if he knows what his uncle puts in his drink.
All right.
If you get the opportunity, just ask.
Yeah. Okay. Why don't you just ask him yourself?
They're really secretive about their secret recipes. They don't want the secret getting out. And obviously, I'm not as charming as you, so he's not going to tell me.
But I don't want to just go asking him about his uncle because he's just going to think I'm after him for his money. 'Cause his family are like well rich back in the big city.
Why do we need the recipe? We
you,
why
Carlos just like stamps his foot on Walter's
I'm
foot.
just
Roger, just like it's only for a split second. It's just this very brief moment of eye contact, but he makes this most hopelessly frustrated look at Carlos, like, why did these other idiots not understand what we're trying to do? And in that quarter of a second, that's just like, we're surrounded by morons. He looks over there and then kind of looks back at her, and then he looks back at the barmaid and says, You know what? Never mind. Don't worry about the recipe. Maybe just a good night to cheer him up. That's exactly what he needs. Maybe you show him a good
Raja?
time.
I'm
Yes.
sorry to interrupt.
What?
If you want, I could go with her and figure out the recipe.
I'm not
Sure.
really into
Actually, Arden,
like I'm not really into like your type either. So really, if it was like just me and Jitzel, that'd be really romantic and that. But like three of us, that's sort of dirty, and I'm not really into it.
I don't.
Yeah.
think,
What kind of woman do you take her for, Arden?
no,
Wait.
as a bodyguard. She needs a
didn't know
I'm
bodyguard.
not saying I wouldn't do it, but I mean, just maybe not with him.
I just wanted to go to the party. What are you guys doing?
well, Arden, I know how you can help.
You know what? I retract my help. I'm going to go over there and
where are
stuff.
But we could really use
Nope.
your help, Arden.
Nope. Once spurned, a lover's mistake.
Yep. No, we got it.
Walk off.
Well, great. Now who's gonna give her the makeover? Not that
Wait.
you're not already very pretty,
She
but
doesn't.
well,
I'm just gonna.
we made her look a little bit more like, who's wife.
Then
I'm
I
just
don't
gonna-
think we need to do that.
I'm just gonna like grab Carl. I'm gonna literally just grab Carlias and pull him out of the room away from everyone else, and say, "Well, I was thinking, try to set them up on a blind date and then jump them when the two of them are separated. But it looks like that's not gonna happen now with the others interfering. Look, why don't we just case the place? Watch when this Jitsu fella leaves, we jump him in the street at night, or we follow him back to his house, figure out where he lives, drag him outside town. I know a spell that can force him to speak the truth, and we'll just ask him if he did it or not."
Well, hold on a second. He's one of the guards. He's gonna know our faces. No.
Wait, what are you doing? The barmaid is absolutely listening and hearing everything. You can't jump on him or nothing.
Well, I know.
Well,
I
she's
dragged
pulling-
him like completely out of the room.
She's very listening.
Oh, okay. Well, I
She
mean-
did everything. She's an elf, by the way. She has like long, pointy ears, and they're like twitching towards you and like there's like two like
What's your
20s.
fucking cat?
They're always
Dude,
messing
she
around.
just
like-
Right.
She just
She's
rolled
Khajiit.
a
I-
critical natural 20 on her
Oh my
perception
God.
check, and she's
Yeah.
absolutely got the best hearing ever, and she's
She got like a
listening.
bar glass to the wall.
And she's like crept over behind you, and now she's
Okay,
like,
okay.
"Don't hurt his face."
All right, I'll
Oh,
turn
no,
back.
No. Raja wanted to, be a part of you jumping on him as well.
Oh,
Uh,
like that.
No, I'll,
Yeah.
you
Exactly.
know,
like
I'm
that.
just gonna look back at her and cut through the crowd. And I'm gonna speak to her in Elven, in perfect fluent Elven. Raj is gonna look back and say, "All right, listen. We think he killed Stonetooth's wife.
Oh, now this is unfair. I know you can talk Elvish.
What's he saying?
Raja has literally never spoken Elven in front of anyone in the group ever.
She looks
So
she
it's
looks
just like perfect Elven out of nowhere. Just-
We've spoken Elven to each other.
Oh
in
yeah,
front.
that's right.
Yeah.
Walter. He's spoken Elven to Walter. Yeah, he's talking to the elf in Elven and says, "We think he killed Stonetooth's wife. We're trying to find a way to lure him out away from the rest of the guards so we can interrogate him and get to the bottom of it."
She looks at the dwarf and in poor common says, "What the fuck is he doing?" What's
I
he
don't
saying?
know. Listen. If he's saying anything about me and someone by the name of
you
Miami,
speaking in
don't
elf?
listen to him.
You think I speak elf?
You don't speak like in common with the most exasperated. You don't even speak Elven.
I've spent every single one of my 43 years in this tavern with Stonetooth.
Okay.
I was birthed here.
Teach me Elven.
I've never met an elf that didn't speak Elvish. I apologize.
Yeah, well, some of our parents were brutally murdered.
Raja just gives her this long kind of a stare.
Hey, I don't think it was my kin that did it. Okay.
Oh, I know who did it.
Who?
They're all dead.
How?
Stonetooth.
Fair enough.
Kill the killers, get the prize. That's what he always says. I think.
What were you saying in Elven? Back to Raja.
Yeah, what were you saying to me? Better not have been nothing nasty.
You better not have been talking about him.
Better not have been telling her anything she doesn't need to know.
I was just saying.
She might have a very big mouth.
You better not have been talking about me.
We need you.
I was just saying maybe I've got it over my head here, and you guys should probably sort the issue on your own. And I'm just gonna start rapidly retreating.
You lot of freaks. Listen, if you can hook me up with Solden, then that'd be really good. But I don't know what's going on. I don't trust it, and I try not to get involved in all the
It's fine.
Strange
We
things.
will try and
It's-
see
drinks. All right.
about a date for you and him.
I'm gonna like
Yeah.
go and start to pull them. Like,
I'm going back to work now.
I have a better plan.
Okay. Have fun.
Okay. I have a better plan. She's
Listen.
dumb as a bag of bricks. So we
She
dress
doesn't even
me up.
She's an elf, and she doesn't even speak Elven.
What did you
I've
say?
I've never seen that. Oh, I just said, we think he's a murderer and killed Stonetooth's wife, and we want to spy on him. But she didn't understand what I said.
Can I insight check him?
Yeah.
Because Carlias thinks you said something about Miami Blossom.
Okay. What do I have to roll anything? I'm not lying. Here, there's a deception roll. I don't know if it matters.
You don't need to roll. He just needs to not fuck up, and he needs to read your body language, not poorly, which he does. You're not sure. I'd say.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely lying to you.
I'm gonna start speaking Elvish to Raja and just drop Miami Blossom's name into it and snicker a little bit, and then walk off. I do speak Elven.
I'm gonna laugh.
So
as well.
he just kind of looks over. I can imagine you just look over and you're like, bushes, trees, trucks, fire hydrants, Miami Blossom, pavement, fresh flowers. Like just not actually speaking any intelligible words.
Yeah.
And then just
Wait,
what you?
what are you saying?
Okay. All
He
right.
didn't.
I have a
he didn't-
plan.
He's speaking gibberish.
They're not actually. Dress me up as a woman,
Oh,
Wait, why don't
and I'll go on the date with him.
you're all going off this Bones guy's word, and we haven't looked at any of the abandoned places. We haven't even gotten that list.
Well, he's not
Let's go
going
to-
off the bone yet.
I
Face
mean-
palm in Elvish.
We, I just think we should take a step back.
But I mean, he has the most credible story. It's got to be this guy.
Well, how about we split up then? I'll go check all the houses while you guys come up with a plan for this. And
Oh, it's easy. It's easy. No. I'll dress up as a woman. I will lure him, and then club him, right? And then we just drag him out to the desert.
well, like he's a caveman. He's not just gonna.
I really hope this guy's with the killer.
Then he's not gonna be that desperate.
No, well, it's. I have.
I mean, not that
I have
you're
charm. I
pretty.
can make it work.
Oh,
That's
sure
fine.
that you can.
I just will need Raja.
Walter, stand there and
Nearby.
look pretty.
What do you need? Wait, what do you need me for?
Well, because I was worried because I have no magic. So I found out how to take your plan and my plan. I dress up as a woman. You trail me. And
All you have to do is get him somewhere alone, and then
Yeah.
me and Arden and Carlias and everyone we'll jump him, we'll drag him into the
Okay.
desert
okay.
where we can actually use a spell, and then I'll make him speak the truth.
All right. Just as
Walter?
long as you keep me safe. What? It's a good plan, right?
Stand there and look pretty.
Carlisle throws a card at him.
How pretty does he look?
Oh.
Well, we need to have Arden work his not his magic, but his work your magic, so to speak, with the disguises and your makeup and stuff that you carry.
Can I roll a
That's
beauty
Brad,
check?
but-
You can roll a Walter Benty beauty check. Yes.
Oh no. Is this just a D20?
Yeah.
Do we get
Disadvantage.
charisma bonuses on this at all or no?
You get disadvantage because it's you making it.
Fuck.
Brad, while this is happening, can I sneak off?
7.
Nice.
It's a 7. He looks pretty rough today. I mean, if you're looking at him in the sense that you want him to look like cliched feminine, attractive, he's like been like traipsing through the desert for most of his life. Probably got like weathered skin, even for a half elf. His hair's probably just overgrown. He's got like, I don't know. He's even though he washed himself this morning, he still doesn't
Still a
look
little
great.
dirty. Oh, lovely.
Maybe a little beaten up and bruised from like some of the
Furthering the dirty sorcerer
Andy just woke up from a nap.
stereotype.
so-
Yeah.
woke up from a
Hair's
nap.
all
He's got
messy.
puffy face, but it doesn't. Some people it suits puffy face. He's one of those people that he just looks bad. Looks like he's got that.
It's not good, Renee Zellweger.
All right.
It's
all
like
right. All right. So
day off,
on with
Renee.
the plan.
Renee
Well,
Zellweger.
I mean,
I'm gonna try and stealth out of here while these shenanigans are going on.
Okay.
I could help out a little bit there.
Yeah, you're gone. Oh no, that was you. You don't get to perception. You get to passive perception.
Oh, rip. Wait, my passive perception is also 17. My passive perception is 17.
Yeah,
Mine's
she's
16.
making the check, so she's the make it break it.
Oh, rip.
Yours is a passive thing. Passive perceptions.
Do I at least notice that she's gone?
I think you'll all notice around now that Lash is gone. She's been gone for an indescribable amount of time.
Sounds about right.
You've been staring too long at Walter, trying to work out if, even on a good day, he can even be attractive. But today he doesn't look good. And then Lash is gone.
Arden, do the thing. All right, make him pretty.
Okay, come here, sweetie.
Okay.
And let's see. We're going to go a little goth Lolita today, I think is the order.
What does that even mean?
What does that mean?
I
Is
don't
that
know.
Is that a fashion style from the Crimson City? or-
Ooh, little bit more frill and lace.
Oh.
Nailed it.
How do you want it to look? Her. That's how convincing it is that I've changed the pronouns for Walter.
That should be like a makeup sales line. So good it'll change the pronoun.
It'll change the pronoun.
Yeah, no, you are like that weird weeaboo anime goth Lolita, like gigantic Victorian dress, kind of stupid. There's no way people will not look at you for one reason or the other.
Like
Well-
that girl from Death Note.
I haven't seen it, but I could assume, yeah.
Yeah.
Or
That's what I'm-
anime Evanescence.
Oh my
And
God.
you look like Evanescence in her absolute prime.
What? How do I look?
You look like a Victorian English vampire.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing?
There you go.
Yes, it's a good thing today. You look great. You look like me when I cross dress. Fucking
Yes.
absolutely 10 out of 10. Bang up. You look so much better in cross dress and drag than you do as Walter.
We should keep him this way.
So, yeah.
I mean,
Let's go on a date.
yeah.
Let's
What's
do
her
it.
name gonna be?
You'll definitely be able to get what you say her name was, Lolita. That's your name.
Lolita. Ah.
Yep, that's your
Okay.
name.
You know, it sounds very exotic. Right?
Lolita.
It does. Well, he'll definitely have no problem walking
we-
into one of the noble establishments
Are
looking
we
like
going
that.
down
They'll
this
assume
road?
he's rich. Or she's rich.
We're going down
But-
this road. Lolita.
Yeah, so then you guys start heading towards the manor?
The manor, I guess.
Yeah, well, how much money do you have on you, Walter? Or
Um,
Lolita?
About 80 gold. Or
Okay.
oh, should I have like a girly voice?
You should probably practice it a little bit.
About
I have one idea.
Give me a performance check. This will be the flat number forever at how good you are at Lolita's voice.
Tides of chaos.
Can I
He
give
like
him-
gets to practice it, right?
Can I give? Can I
We're
give
gonna
him
sit here.
advantage
We're
if I
gonna
give
sit
him
here and
advantage?
coach him on it to give him advantage.
You tides of chaos.
Why would you do that, Jay?
I needed to make sure it was okay.
Carlias also kicks you in the nuts. Just as a heads up.
Let me find out.
So you rolling that T1000 right now?
I mean, the voice you do is great.
Oh no.
You summon up something from somewhere.
From Cthulhu.
And whatever you say, you can put on a voice if you want. But in terms of in character, it's fucking awesome. It's very soft, sultry.
Yeah.
Matches the attractive.
Hello. I am Lolita.
Why is that like Jeff Dunham? I'm Lindsay Lohan.
Brad?
Yeah. You're good. What do you do next?
Okay. We just.
Tides of Chaos didn't like actually turn him into a woman or something.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Oh, all right. No, I can do that. So-
it's not a spell.
What do you think?
That's actually disturbingly convincing.
I
Yes.
think the
He
kick to
looks
the crotch
and
helped.
the fucking part.
Okay.
I'm just kind of looking at the. I'm like looking at Carlias and looking at Arden, and then back at him, and then kind of at them again, and saying, "That's." The scary thing is, if I didn't know that was Walter, that would actually probably trick me.
Bow down, peasant.
Do I sound like a noble?
All right, shut up. Well, I mean,
Clean my floors.
okay,
does
well,
that work?
that's you don't. I mean, yes, nobles are arrogant, but not like that.
Oh.
You gotta like.
I have more money than all of you.
No. I mean, you gotta imply that you're superior instead of like directly stating it.
I bought a Ferrari with my YouTube money.
There you go. Yeah. Wait. What?
Nothing.
What the hell is a YouTube?
It's a new
what's a
spell.
Ferrari?
Don't worry about it. It's a horse. It's a fast horse. Made by Ferrari
Mr.
Ferrero.
Okay. Whatever. Let's go to the manor, and we'll stay at a distance while you go into their fancy, whatever their exclusive tavern thing they've got there.
Okay.
And find this sharp-looking blonde kid, and bait him into going on a walk or something like that. Bring him out to the train tracks, and then we'll improvise.
Yeah. No. Okay.
You guys start heading up towards the manor. Where did you go, Lash?
So,
Because you just fucked
looking
off.
at the town here,
You've already gone to the manor and seduced him.
and given when we walked,
She's already on a date with the guy.
yeah. When we walked into town, we came in from the southwest side, and we walked like past the train station and the Sandwalker tents and stuff, and it took us maybe 10-ish minutes to get to the traders merchants. Is that about right?
Yeah, it's
So-
not far.
Not a big town. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to go as quickly and efficiently as possible. I'm going to actually hit the northern mansions, take a look at those. I'm looking for abandoned houses in those two cluster of noble neighborhoods, and then down in the southern bit that's just below the Carved Men, so like in between the manor and the Carved Men place. I'm just going to hit all the abandoned houses I can in town as sneakily as possible. And just see if I hear any sounds coming from within, like, muffled or otherwise, to see if any of them are occupied.
All right, give me. You're sneaking around and investigating. So give me a stealth check and an investigation check for like the north west quadrant.
Wow.
Nani?
Oops, that's perception. Investigation. Holy crap. Okay. Oops. Well.
You vanish from the group, and you can hear them bickering over Walter, and then you see Arden coming at him very fast with some makeup, opening the box, and you head up towards the northwestern quadrant of the town. You start sort of like looking for abandoned houses, and they're few and far between as far as you can tell. All of these houses are pretty nice. For the majority of the first part of this investigation, you're moving around and avoiding people. There are a couple of noble-looking men and women milling about. You notice that there's a handful of noble ladies looking out of windows, peering at each other from across the street. The guard here, there's a couple of watchmen that you've seen around town in kind of like basic leathers. And then you've also seen, probably just glanced, a couple of the more knightly looking guards that have armor on, chainmail or plate mail. The guards around here are all like plate mailed, heavy looking guards with lances or large swords and shields. And you're just zipping in between them. They're barely even aware that you're there. You don't find really anything. The couple of empty looking houses that you find, you peer in windows, brush some dust away. Looks completely empty. It doesn't look like anybody's been near it. The door doesn't look like it's been tried in a long time. No windows that have been moved or opened. And you quickly and stealthily move through the entire noble district of town. Coming up with nothing, basically. You don't find
Gotcha.
any evidence or clues or any abandoned buildings that look like they might be housing someone who's waiting for the next train or hiding out in this area in town. Moving down into the more central area, give me another stealth and another investigation. Continuing to easily maneuver between people and around people. You probably walk straight past this lot as they're doing up Walter, and they don't even notice you there. You just zip past them and head further into the central area in town and start maneuvering around the alleyways again, looking for abandoned houses. Find a few more abandoned houses, but again, come up empty-handed with regards to like actually anybody living or seeming like they're staying there. The guard here avoid you. You avoid them, I mean, and they look for you but don't know you're there. And yeah, again, you maneuver about, don't find anything of any real use. Any abandoned houses are all just either completely run down and would be awful to stay in anyway, or completely devoid of life and seem to have been for a while. You heading over the train tracks?
Yes, I want to include the train tracks and that lookout site, the lookout tower, in my search. So if we divide the town into however many quadrants you want, 4 or so, I definitely want to hit the train tracks as one of the quadrants.
Okay, I will just do this whole section on the other side on another roll. Give me another stealth and investigation.
My God, my investigation is so bad.
It's really bad. You're just walking past the killer like 5
So
times.
bad.
Luckily, no one can see you. So you
He's
can
like
do this all
openly
day.
stabbing another woman, and
Yeah.
she's just walking.
Right, yeah.
Like,
Sir, do you
And I'm
know?
like, "Whoa."
yeah, you maneuver around the town again, a little less stealthily, though most people don't seem to pay you any mind really. You just look like another person in amongst the crowds. This side of town is a little more busy with people visiting the temple, visiting the traders, going to and from their houses. You find a few buildings here, and probably inquiring with the abandoned buildings, you look inside. You find 2 which have homeless people in, but they've clearly been living there for a long time. And even if you actually went in, maybe you go in and just briefly inquire with them, they don't seem to give a shit about you. They're just off their faces, drunk, or on this same kind of weird, smelly weed that the halfling was smoking. They don't seem like they're hiding out. They're just openly, brazenly squatting. And yeah, you glance up at that old lookout tower, just abandoned on the edge of town. Heading up.
Yeah, I would head up that.
Give me another stealthy investigation, eh?
Oh.
My.
This is like significantly out of town, but not so far that it's ridiculous. You have to head up a very old kind of like barely even stairway anymore that was just carved manually out of the stone, and it heads up onto this kind of rocky outcropping that's high enough up that you get a good view now out over the desert, pretty much all the way around 360. The tower itself is very old looking, very rough stone. The wooden tower roof has like long ago rotten away, broken away. A lot of the higher levels of this tower have gone with it, but the bottom half of the tower seems pretty firm, and there's an intact door at the base. Coming up to it, the door doesn't look locked or anything. This totally looks like an abandoned building. You don't hear anything or see anything obvious as you approach. What do you want to do? You can't see in. There isn't any windows.
I'll take a listen. I'll actually, instead of just kind of going right in case, I'd be wary of getting myself into a situation. I used to stake out for most of my life before I would do any, actual thieving. So I'm probably pretty patient. So I'll mill around the outside, being as quiet again as possible, and just listening to see if I hear anything.
Give me a perception check. You press your little halfling ears up against this door, and the door itself, like, seems sturdy enough as you push your head up against it, listening intently for the sounds of a murderer or a person hiding from the law. And what you hear is the mewling of many, many cats and the scuffling of many little paws moving around. You would guess from the outside that there are a lot of cats in the old lookout tower behind this door. And that's where we're going to end today's session.
With a lot of cats.
A lot of cats. Thank you for playing, players. And thank you for watching, watchers. We'll pick up this murder mystery next week.
We're the worst investigators ever.
This was your fault, Brad. This was your fault. You gave us a murder mystery.
When you knew we were too dumb.
I never know. You make these things, and you're like, this will either take them 1 hour or like 8 sessions. I don't know. I don't run murder mystery things that often.
You've now made your own McLotion in this campaign. This is the McLotion.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know. You're doing things. You're doing things. You found the.
I love this.
Tower.
This is hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, you're not doing that badly, guys. You're doing the thing that PCs do all the time, where you overcomplicate things, and steadily scared of things approach everything. You approach everything as if you're going to die.
Maybe that's because you've repeatedly attempted to murder us.
Yeah, it could be because
it's a good place to be hyper vigilant in D&D. So yeah, it's fine. But
Well, you also didn't keep Arden busy enough to not fuck up the plan constantly.
I mean, Arden's got a day off. You know?
Yeah.
just stay on.
I don't want to fuck with a man on his day off. Yeah, we'll just. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, and we'll pick it up next week. I hope I can remember everyone's accents when you go back and speak to them. They'll all be different. You're welcome. Let's do a round of shout-outs before we abandon the game. Although I should mention that I think next week the time will be slightly different. I think because it started early today. I forgot.
I think we got one more week, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the 25th for us when we go forward.
The 25th is not a Wednesday, is it? No.
It's a Sunday.
That is my 1-year partnerversary, the 25th. I think.
Ooh.
I will be dressing up like Walternet, Lolita. Not even a joke. I have ordered a French maid outfit.
Yes.
Got to
I already-
celebrate my partnerversary how I was made, dressed as a girl playing PUBG, right? It's the way it is. Okay, never mind. It will be the same time as this week, which is 4 EDT and 8 GMT. And I forgot to mention that UK people, if you showed up an hour late, I'm sorry. But I guess, fuck you. Too late now, isn't it?
Ouch.
Connor, where can people find you?
Twitch.tv/Connor Kronos.
Connor.
Usually 3:30 p.m. Eastern, but with this whole daylight savings thing, it's a bit thrown out of whack, but that's me.
Yeah. I feel you. I hate it's the hardest thing to DM for people in multiple time zones when they do this, and it just becomes a fucking clusterfuck for telling people and telling players and just working out myself. Sucks. Tuesday, Gray. Where can people find you?
Time changes are dumb. You can find me at twitch.tv/Tuesday Gray. There on Twitch and Twitter, both the same name. I sometimes do fun stuff. Thanks.
I need to go to sleep, don't I? HJ Tenchi, where can people find you?
1 to 9 p.m. PST, Monday through Saturday on my channel. It's got my name and the link in the chat.
Check your boy out.
Yeah, boy.
Unbench the Tench. And,
I need to play.
Fairlight _Excalibur. Your
Yes.
wonderful chat. Where can people find your wonderful chat?
Fairlight _Excalibur. I'm glad we covered that. I'm, glad we got that sorted out. You can find me at twitch.tv/Fairlight_Excalibur, and you can also find me pretty much everywhere else at FairlightEX.
Even in your own bathroom in your house right now, if you just...
I was gonna say Twitter, but yeah, that works too.
If you say Fairlight EX 10 times in a mirror,
it pops up.
He'll appear behind you and tell you how to play games.
And then Zephyr strike you.
Mr. J BradWOTO.
How many episodes have we gone since I've been able to Zephyr strike somebody? It's been like 3 episodes.
A little bit.
4 or 5.
Been too long.
Well, 4 or 5, yeah.
I was tempted to duel Connor just for being able to roll some dice.
I got dicked over so hard. I'm sorry.
I have fuck all, except I love Fortnite. It's one of the greatest games. Brad's wrong. Fuck
No, I
him.
agree.
Go watch Neon Scream this week. Watch Ilios tomorrow, and then watch Wax shows on the weekend too. Don't forget to join our Discord. And that's it. I think that's it. I've got follow Brad.
Discord is the best place you can go to find out all the things, because we've got too many shows now. It's getting crazy.
Yeah. We've got
It's
6
great,
shows now.
but it's hard to keep track of everything. And if you want to watch them all, you can either jump into the Discord, where you will get like up to date. That is where all the information is. So follow us on there. It's the best place to be for it. If not, you can follow the YouTube channel for the VODs, and Twitter is also a good one for updates. Or follow someone here, and I'm sure they'll tweet when we go live with shows. We have a new show on Mondays on this channel as well, called The Nameless Ones, which officially starts next week. It started this week with a character creation, but the actual campaign begins on Monday, same time as this, which is again the 4 EDT 8 GMT thing for the next week or two. Episode 1 of that next week. That's really fun. It's on this channel. I'm not GMing it. Wax Steven is. And it's kind of demon-y. I'm playing a half-imp creature similar to Cran, but not. He's like Cran meets Inquisitor Glockter from the first lore, because I'm an actual torturer Inquisitor imp man thing. So it should be interesting. So if you want to jump in on the first episode of a show, then I suggest The Nameless Ones on Monday. If not, the rest of us will see you in and about throughout the week, or next Wednesday, where they'll maybe finish the mystery of Abigaila Stonetooth.
We're
It's going to be 2 weeks from now.
No.
It'll be at least 6 more weeks.
It's going to be forever.
This is
Well,
the
we
main
have PAX East coming up in 3, right?
Yeah.
If you haven't solved it by then, I will roll the D10,000 sunburst.
All right. See you next week, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
It's high noon somewhere.